Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Uncertainty, self-doubt, stressing about not knowing where to start. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Word art. Sorry, live, laugh, lovers. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
This week, in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, a wild and horrific night has two completely different versions of what happened to a young woman who ends up dead in vicious circumstances. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us this week. We are, as usual, jacked to be here.
Sure.
Which sounds strange because we're so excited about death, but we're not. That's not what it is.
No.
We're happy to be here with all of you and hearing
Tell you a story, bring it together.
There you go, and try to make it a little less horrible. That's what we're all going to do here. So let's do this. Thank you once again, everybody, for your reviews this week, of course. That purple icon on Apple Podcasts. We don't know why that matters.
It's just a thing.
It just does for some reason. Right. So that said, please do that. 5 stars if you can. It helps us out a lot.
That's your part.
Much. Yeah, we're
doing our part.
Yeah, we don't know why it helps.
It's your turn.
But yeah, there you go.
Get to work.
Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Get tickets to the Crime and Sports virtual live show coming up on May 6th.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Available.
It's 2 fucking weeks away.
That's wild. I'm jacked for that.
Yes.
That's any of those shows are crazy, and the Crime and Sports are extra crazy because it's always someone who's famous, so there's just lots of pictures of them doing something dumb, usually.
And it's a new live show format in terms of the place it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. You got a new studio for it. It's made just for that.
That's all it's for.
That's all it's for. So do that. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com right now. Get your tickets to that. And get your tickets to, I know they're going up again. We're updating the websites for all of the rescheduled shows.
Right.
And so we're excited about that. Actual live shows.
Yes.
Not virtual. Actual. Or we're going somewhere and hopefully you'll be there too.
And keep in mind, if you don't see something up there, we are doing our best to reschedule it. And a couple are getting moved. We're not sure which ones yet altogether.
Think about this. When 2 years, basically, a year and a half or so of shows are canceled for everybody.
Not just us.
That means everybody's trying to cram a year and a half's worth of stuff into 1 year. And, everybody on the face of the earth.
All the candy on Halloween is in one bucket.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
The Foo Fighters are trying to get some of that candy from us, too. They're going to get more than
We're
us.
not playing in the same place as the Foo Fighters.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah,
I'm saying bigger acts than us are definitely
not the Foo Fighters. Maybe like
Tootsie Rolls.
Maybe like Snoop Dogg here and there when he pops up. We've been in some of those
certainly going to be
we're
competing
going to share
with
the
some
stage
spots.
there.
Jelly Roll, watch out. We're taking some of those venues.
That's what I'm saying, possibly. I think Skid Row might be following us one of these nights.
Watch out, Rat!
Let's do it. Oh, no, it's Rat. Round and round it is. So get your tickets to that. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Also, Patreon. My goodness. If you didn't get Patreon this last weekend, you missed some great episodes, but if you sign up, you'll get them now.
Yes.
Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. And we did reviews of jails and prisons that people left.
So fun.
Which is pretty hilarious.
Not just the reviews of the jail, people in the neighborhood.
Oh, God, everything. People going to the jail, working at the jail, being at the jail.
Perspective of everybody hating jails.
It's wild.
It's great.
That and Crime and Sports, the one thing which you'll also get access to, was we did kind of our favorite sports movies, and we made fun of a lot of old crappy movies. So that was fun, too. Check that out. That is patreon.com/crime and sports. And you're a producer, so Jimmy will mispronounce your name at the end of the show, and he'll be, he'll try, but he'll mess it up. So there's that. Do that. Also, if you just want to be a good person, have good karma, that is also possible over at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com.
Right.
Quickly, the disclaimer.
Yes.
Like we said, this is a comedy show. We're comedians, obviously. We're trying.
Yeah.
So
it's entertainment.
That's our profession anyway. So, there's going to be jokes and people are going to die.
Sure.
Those things can exist at the same time in the world.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have to make fun of the person dying.
Right.
That's the thing that we do. We go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why?
Because we're assholes.
But
we're not scumbags.
You understand?
So that's how that works.
You understand?
But, if everybody thinks that's great, they're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And anybody who doesn't might not be for you, but it might be. We're just saying don't complain later.
Truth.
So for everybody else who wants to have a good time and hear a crazy story told by two idiots, I think it's time to sit back and shout,
"Shut up and give me murder."
Let's do this, Jimmy.
All right.
Let's go on a trip.
All right. I'd love that.
Let's go. We're going from Connecticut.
These fucking germs and let's go.
We're going from Connecticut. And we're going to head down into the hollers here. Not really into the hollers. It's a pretty decent-sized town, but still, it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Home of the holler.
We're going to Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Okay.
So it's in northern Kentucky.
Yeah. They want to step up the class to Jersey, the Jersey level.
They're creeping up to Ohio level class, Jimmy. That's what they're trying to. The dream is to get to Cincinnati someday.
Where it just smells like shit, not looks like shit.
Smells like sulfur. That was the best. If you're new to the show, we went to Cincinnati, landed, got there, got to our hotel downtown.
Landed in Kentucky.
Got to our hotel, and I sniffed the air and then texted a friend of mine who is born and raised and really loves Cincinnati. And I said,
he is Cincinnati.
I said, hey, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Is there a smell in Cincinnati? And he goes, oh, yeah, that's going to be sulfur. He goes, if the wind's blowing your way, you'll smell the zoo, too, if you're downtown. So it stinks terribly, but you're going to love it. I'm like, okay. So this place here, part of many little panhandles in northern Kentucky, 45 minutes over to Louisville, if you want to go, I guess, someplace probably
college town, babe.
Yeah, Louisville.
Go get drunk.
That was a cool show that we did there. About 2.5 hours up to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
If you're ready to make a change, and about 2.5 hours the opposite direction down to Tulane, Kentucky, which was our last episode, A Hollow Full of Murder.
How long ago was that?
That was episode 158.
It's been a minute.
February of 2020. So
Holy shit.
That was right when we came back from
Denver?
Louisville, I think.
Oh, probably,
I think we just got back from Louisville and recorded that.
Yeah.
And to say thank you for the people of Kentucky.
With the elderly ushers. That was a great show.
That was fun. Yeah, those people were awesome. This is in Hardin County.
Yep.
And area code 270. And motto of this town. Mm-hmm. This is the actual motto.
Oh, boy.
Now, a motto is supposed to be like snappy.
Yeah.
You know, a little
quick to the point.
Hey, we're real good and you should be here.
Quick to the point. Maybe a little humor.
Even the most common one that they all use, a great place to work. What is it? Work, live and play. Listen to how they say this, okay? This is like a foreigner read that and then put it in actual longer terms. Elizabethtown has something to offer everyone, whether you are doing business, visiting, or living here. It's literally live, work, and play, but just a way to make it more confusing. Let's make it worse. Someone who doesn't speak English as their first language put that on the website, I feel like. Now, history of this town, established in 1793, the county was. And Kentucky's one of those old places. People had
close enough to didn't take long to migrate there.
Well, you know, there was always going to be people who were going to go for a different circumstance, you know, and this is where they're going to flee to. Yeah. And so
lots of hills to hide in.
Westward. That's far enough, I guess. I don't know.
I can hide here.
This is good. Dug out a little place.
Lots of cover.
Named after Colonel John Hardin, who was an Indian fighter who worked with the tribes in the local area. That's what they say he was.
Indian fighter who worked with.
That's what I mean. Is he?
His job is an Indian fighter, so that he would certainly be working with them.
But you know, it's funny because the word Indian, sometimes it's like okay to you. There's context to use that. Which is weird. Yeah. Like, and it's almost like there's other words like that too. Let's not get into it. But there's other things where context is key, and this is one of them. And I don't know. It would sound worse if it said Native American fighter and he was fighting them. It sounded like I'm going to, you know, he's really
fighting against them, or is he pitting them against?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's fighting with these people. I don't know what's happening. So he after a little while, people started to move here, normal people that wanted to have homes and families and shit. And so Elizabethtown came from a guy named Colonel Andrew Hines, who had some 30 acres of land, and he decided to make some streets and lots and shit. Okay. Imagine doing that, having a big plot of land and going, I'm just going to make roads.
Can you imagine seeing untouched land and then having the idea, let's ruin it?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess you want to make money.
Yeah.
Thomas Lincoln here helped Samuel Haycraft build a mill race, which I don't know what that is.
You're racing mills.
At all. It's one word, mill race.
Oh, really?
Don't know what that is.
Oh, my.
At Haycraft's Mill on Valley Creek. And, their daughter here, basically, Abraham Lincoln ended up being born around this area. That's the point. This is Abraham Lincoln's family. Okay. So rather than go through their whole history, they're born here.
They don't matter. He does.
There you go.
Right.
In 1862, Confederate General John Hunt Morgan and 3,000 cavalrymen attacked the town. They blasted more than 100 cannonballs into the town.
That's a lot.
That'll fuck shit up, I would imagine. And they captured Elizabethtown, but they were just really trying to disrupt the railroad and the transportation of armaments and shit for the North.
Sure.
And they burned a bunch of shit and stuff like that.
Yes, they do.
There you go. After the battle, one cannonball was found lodged in the building, like in the side of a building in the public square.
Yeah.
And the building burned down in 1887, but they were rebuilt, and then they replaced the cannonball thing, and I guess they're trying to find the cannonball still. Oh, no, they have it. Yeah, they keep the cannonball there still, so they still have a cannonball for some reason.
That's nice. That's a memento. Remember when this place was destroyed? Let's remember that.
Yeah, that's. Hey, remember that?
Yeah,
that was fun, right?
Remember the worst day in our history? Let's keep that.
Remember when everything had holes?
Right.
Shit was on fire. Let's hang on to that.
Oh, God.
From 1871 to 1873, that was Reconstruction era in the South here. The 7th Cavalry and a battalion of the 4th Infantry, led by Custer, General Custer, famed dying in a battle fame, were stationed there. They were assigned there to suppress the local Klan activities.
Oh, great.
Basically, the Klan was there, and this was a part of Reconstruction to make people do that. The Klan was attacking freed slaves and just general people, I guess. Yeah. Just people everywhere. Also, there's a lot of illegal distilleries around here that were cropping up. Tennessee, known for, or not Tennessee, Kentucky and Tennessee, known for the
whiskey production.
Hill production of whiskey. There's a lot of
outdoor bathtub production.
A lot of hillside production.
Dangerous production.
This bottle was produced hillside. Wow. I can see. Oh, that's why there's leaf chunks in it. There we go. So they were also there to break those up and shit like that. I have reviews of this town, which is I have a 5-star review. I think we should always start
Somebody's proud and loves it. Great.
A lot of people like this place. I don't know. That seems like people who live there a long time. Okay. Here we go. 5 stars. I've been living in this neighborhood for 21 years. I'm now 22.
Say again.
Okay.
Do that again?
His family moved there when he was 1.
Right.
And he still lives with his parents. That's what he's saying. So good for you. My parents moved here in 1999, and we've loved it ever since. Every neighbor we have had has lived here for a max of 8 years. The neighborhood is, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Is that good? Like they cycle out after
great.
8 years?
There's a lot of turnover.
It's wonderful. New people all the time.
Nobody stays for the pension. It's terrific.
I've never heard that as like such a weird
That's never a good thing.
Comment.
Yeah.
The neighborhood is family friendly. What neighborhood isn't family friendly? Oh, what are you moving in here with your family? Fuck out of here with that.
That's what the point of a neighborhood is.
Man, they drove my family out. Why? Because of who you are? No, because we was a family. They just drove us out.
It's just me now.
No families allowed.
My family's somewhere else.
Y'all got to get divorced and drop your kids off somewhere if y'all want to live here.
Yeah, they forced me to leave my kids at the firehouse.
That's what happened. Pet friendly. Apparently, you're allowed to have a pet in your own house. That's terrific. I don't know why. And safe. Overall, a good community of people of every age, race, and sex. Well, we'll find that out with the demographics later on. It's located down the street from the county's schools, okay, and it is not far from the town's supermarkets and shopping centers. If you're looking for a place to settle down, I would definitely suggest here.
Okay.
There you go. Only for 8 years, though. Yeah. Get the fuck out. Here's 1 star, opposite, and they've lived here their whole life, too. So this is a mirror experience.
Got
here.
it.
1 star. I've lived Elizabethtown my whole life.
All right, that's a great start.
Perfect. Let's cut out those fucking words that just waste time. It's wasting time is the problem with these words like in. That's just ridiculous. It's pretty much boring. Okay, well, you could learn to write better.
Yeah.
The city is just small, boring businesses. That's a legitimate complaint. Barely any social activities. Again, that's if it's a young person, that's tough. It's hard for me to go anywhere fun. No nightlife. When I'm in my 20s, I'm moving to another town. This is a teenager. This person is like 14. Yeah. They're like, I'm getting out of here as soon as I can. I'm going to buy a bus ticket. I don't care. I'm going to go to Cincinnati, man, where it's happening.
He's going to be 21 and get a roofing job and go, I can pay my bills with this. I'm just going to stick it.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick it. I know people here, and that helps.
When I was 14, I was pissed off. Today, not so much.
That's all right. The community is quiet but uninteresting. Okay, the stores are stupid. The stores are stupid.
Says the guy that leaves out the word "in" first of all.
I'm going to say this might be a young lady because the next line is tons of creepy country guys in their 70s.
That's what it is.
Yeah, who've been ogling her young.
She goes on to the dress barn and Uncle Mac sitting at the corner of the the fitting room.
She goes out in an Amish dress because she really feels uncomfortable with being ogled by old men. Spitting tobacco on the ground.
Stores are stupid.
These stores are stupid. I'm totally moving out of here when I'm in my 20s. I'm going someplace better. I would recommend a more lively and better town.
Sure.
Oh, boy, so that's just one that's better. You know how that works. Wow. 2 stars here. Now, it's not the worst, but I don't like it.
It's close.
It's close. It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's a small town compared to others.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's all relative, I guess, right? I mean, Miami's a small city compared to others.
Sure.
If you put in a basket,
yeah.
If you put New York, L.A., like Tokyo and like Shanghai, and put them all in one with Miami.
Miami's a fucking
small town.
Yeah, it's Elizabethtown.
I mean,
Seattle's only got 1 million people. It's a tiny town.
I mean, relative to the others. I mean,
it's a very small city.
It's a small city. There's no social activities here, and I'd like to see changes in that. Okay. 2 stars again. Okay, let's see here. The nightlife in Elizabethtown is what do you expect? Is practically non-existent.
Yeah.
Well, of course it is. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's why people are living here that want to live here, because they don't want to deal with that shit. If that's why they would move to a small town here. But it is relatively safe. The healthy living factor is not very high.
What does that mean?
Is that like a thing that they put out on the news?
You want fucking granola? You want
Residents of Elizabethtown.
We need a Whole Foods around here.
Comes on like Orson Welles with the residents of Elizabethtown. The healthy living factor has dropped to an all-time low. Board your windows and stay in the house. By God, keep your children home from school and boil all water before drinking it.
The general store is out of the crate of granola.
It's happening.
What the fuck?
For there are not really any healthy events hosted. Healthy events? What the hell does that mean?
What do you want? You want a Tough Mudder? Is that what you want? You need an Ironman race?
We need Kale Fest. We'll find out if that's happening later on in the festival part.
It starts with you.
Yeah, go ahead and start one. Run down the street. There you go. Healthy event. What do you need other people doing shit for?
You need a color fun run?
And nearly every restaurant establishment is fast food. Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
The public schools do coordinate with each other on a regular basis, though.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
To be healthy or to...
I don't jerk each other off. I have no idea. Who knows what they're doing to each other?
The amount of things they could be coordinating.
Oh, man. This town has kind of it was only like 2,500 people kind of all the way through like till the end of World War II.
Yeah.
And then it's been steadily going up and up and up. And now it's kind of shot up in the last 20 years. Right now, population 29,794.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. It's up 64% since 1990.
Wow.
So it's really been on the rise, this place. There's more male than female. Or more female than male. It's pretty average. Median age is pretty close to the normal, about 37. Double the 85 and over group, though.
Is that right?
So that's the creepy guys.
Yeah.
Ogling. They're just sitting there rocking and ogling young girls.
There's a Facebook group for old men somewhere that told them, we all got to move to Elizabethtown. There's a lot of Elizabeths here.
Just pictures of sophomores on it. Is that all it is? Everybody's profile picture.
There.
Their favorite local sophomore.
Are they all moving there, or is this like they've just stuck around? If they've got...
They stuck around.
Yeah. But they're the huge population of the...
They're only like 4%, but it's double what it usually is. That's all I'm saying. So, married population a little bit under what it normally is, which is actually, honestly, I'm a little surprised at that. But otherwise, pretty on the mark. Racially, 74.5% white. 10.7% black, so it's almost the average. 4.1% Asian, again close to the average. 5.8% Hispanic, so it's it's a pretty diverse for a small town. It's pretty diverse. 49.8% of the people here are religious, which is right about average. And like the rest, this is how you tell if you're in the South, because people go, well, that's not the South. Well, what percentage of you are Baptist? That's how you tell. 26% of you are Baptist,
that's
sir.
Heavy. Yeah.
You are a Catholic of the South. That's all there is to it.
That is heavy.
Sorry. Yeah. Otherwise, it's all kind of spread out. 0.0% Jewish, though. That's not happening here. They have not wanting to come here. I don't know. Maybe it's the creepy country guys.
I'm
not sure.
Not a lot of kosher on the menu.
Yeah, it's all fast food. Right. Remember, that's the problem. Hardin County here. Last election, 32% of the people voted Democrat. 62.5% 3.5% voted Republican and about 5% independent. Okay. So like much of Kentucky, a pretty conservative joint there. Unemployment rate's a little bit high, a couple percentage over the national average at this point, but not too bad. Median household income is kind of low, though. It's about $57,500 in the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Here it is 45. It's about 46,000 here. So cost of living here is a little bit low, actually. 100 is average, regular.
Yep.
Here it is 83. It's a little bit low. Housing is only a 70.
Okay.
So not bad. Median home cost here, $163,200. Okay. So not too shabby.
Fairly affordable.
Yeah, about 75% of the houses are between 100 and 300 grand.
That's good.
Yeah, it's affordable. And if we have convinced you.
Yeah.
How haven't we here?
You got to be there.
To move here and stay here for a maximum of 8 years.
That's all you get.
And eat fast food. We have
kick your family out.
That's it. We have for you the Elizabethtown, Kentucky Real Estate Report. All right, your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for about $800.
Okay,
so that's low.
That's
it's
very
usually
cheap,
about $1,200 in the rest of the country. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,680 square foot.
That's a lot.
Kind of basic, plain. Yeah. You can't tell if it's manufactured or not. Right. It's just kind of there.
Like that.
$118,500.
1,600 square feet.
So I mean, if you got a couple of kids, almost 1,700, and you're on a tight budget, it's an option for you. It's got a yard. I mean, it's not bad. You throw a swing set back there, you'd be doing fine. I found a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,861 square foot. It's a big house.
That's a lot.
3,000 square feet almost. It's a brick raised ranch, all one level.
Very cool.
Nice place, pretty nice. Although the people have one of those stars on it, which I don't know why people have stars. What is that? Is that a thing?
Kentucky?
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. All over the country.
Texas started the shit.
But it's not the Texas star.
No?
It's that weird,
it's that nautical star?
Yeah, everybody. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. That was douchebags in 2006 that did that.
Everybody has them now.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe it's.
It was the people that were tattooing them on their elbows.
Maybe it's like good luck or something on your house. I don't know. Maybe
it's a nautical
keeps
star.
Keeps it from burning it down. I'm not sure.
It's an old sailor thing is what it is.
Oh, okay. A bunch of old sea hands out there. Pretty nice house. So $259,000 for this house, which that's not terrible. Then let's say you run all the fast food places here.
Oh, you are King McDonald.
You are Mr. McDonald. 6-bedroom, 6-bath. T-bowl for each and every beehole.
Absolutely.
9,238 square feet.
Holy shit.
Which is like 3 huge houses. That's pretty silly. On 6 acres.
Yeah.
It's stone and it's ridiculous, this fucking house. $1,650,000, which is still...
For 10,000 square feet a house.
6 acres, which the house probably covers 3 of them with that fucking much house. But still.
Jesus
That's Christ. A pretty low price. That's not bad.
That's nothing.
I mean, I can't afford it, but it's not... it's if you're
for that,
if you're in the market for $1.5 million house, that's a great one.
Plop that fucker anywhere else in the country, and you're looking at $12 million.
Oh, that easily, yeah. Things to do here. Yeah. I found the Heartland Festival, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's come out and join us for the Heartland Festival.
Biscuits and gravy.
That's it. Each year we try to. There will be music, food, family, and fun.
Yeah,
and more.
We'll make you have fun.
That's right. Fireworks.
Yep.
On Friday and Saturday night. I mean, this is exactly what you'd expect. Activities and attractions for who, Jimmy?
Who?
The whole family.
You're damn right.
That's goddamn right. It's the whole family. You bring out grandma and your little toddler, and they're both going to have a good fucking time. Let me tell you something. The Heartland Festival. Then... Let's say you drop grandma and the little daughter off at home.
Yep.
You head on down to the Elizabethtown BBQ Blues and Bikes Festival.
Fuck.
There you go. Join us here. It's, I guess, from noon to 10 p.m. They're getting down here for the Thunder into E-Town motorcycle ride.
Oh, they are badass, these people.
6th annual. This was in 2018. It's been canceled.
Right.
6th annual barbecue, Blues and Bikers Festival here. Smokers will be going all night. Yeah. Oh, food.
Yes.
Yes.
And the people.
Getting ready for 25,000 plus bikers, barbecue, and blues fans to gobble up.
My God.
That's a shitload of people.
That stinks.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's going to be stinky.
That's going to smell awful between the exhaust fumes from the bikes.
You better hope it's a cool, non-humid day.
The barbecue and the The tits of these fellas sweating.
Oh, under tit. The under tit of a bike ride into this place is going to be wild.
My.
Now, the blues stages, that's right, 2 stages, it says that here, will be busting out, quote, smoking blues. Not smoke is smoking, apostrophe blues from 12 to 10. Fucking 10 hours of blues.
God damn it.
Oh, man, there's going to be some sort of ride for charity here.
Sure.
Then it says just a little thing here. The kids area will be open noon to 6 p.m. Like, we don't encourage that, but you can stick them in. We got a little cage for them. You can put them in.
6 p.m. comes, send their asses home.
Yeah. We toss chicken McNuggets in there every 15, 20 minutes or so. They scramble for them. They eventually all eat. It's fine. The streets of downtown Elizabethtown will be buzzing with families, the smell of barbecue.
Oh, boy.
Let's not talk about this. I wouldn't bring up the smell factor.
No.
Even if you're going to say it's good.
Right.
I'd lean away from anything that you're
in the summertime in Kentucky. Calm
Late
down.
May in Kentucky,
but
that's
the
humid.
Smell, I don't want it.
Oh boy, that's going to be. I mean, the smoking meat's going to be good, but it's going to mesh with a lot of undertit.
You're trying to pass
Male
all
undertit.
of that quaff together as just barbecue. Calm down.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to eat that.
There's a lot of smells in there.
I don't want to eat that. I can picture.
Your hickory ain't covering your armpits.
No, maybe they just rub it on there. I got hickory deodorant on. Let's see here. The smell of BBQ, the smoke and sounds of blues, and the sight of thousands of motorcycles.
Yeah.
All right. The lineup of bands is unbelievable.
I'll bet it is.
I mean, let's go over it. Okay. Let's see if we can believe it. Yeah. I'm not sure if we can. Now, mind you, every time we do this, somebody complains to us. They're like, they're actually really good. Yeah. Maybe they are. If we've never heard of them, we're just going to make fun of their name. That's how it works. Don't give a shit if they're the greatest band in the world.
Yeah, I'm not going to believe that they're any good.
No, that's it, because I don't know. Lori Jane and the 45s.
Yeah, there's your opener.
The little record or the gun? Which one are we talking about here? The Cashbox Kings.
Oh. They're thieves, huh?
Either they're thieves or Johnny Cash, like, a
cover band.
That might be it here. Or they take...
they're trying to pretend like they're...
Carnival. Yeah, they like steal cash boxes from carnies or something. Who uses... bake sales? Who uses cash boxes?
You're robbing the fucking Girl Scouts?
You're robbing... Yeah. She sold a lot of Samoas today. I'm going to rough her up and take what she's got.
I heard she's holding.
She's holding something. The Stella V's.
Oh.
Okay. Vees. Norman Jackson Band.
Okay.
Not even the Norman, just Norman Jackson Band.
He's proud of himself.
His last name is Band.
Yeah.
Very proud. Kenny Neal. That's it.
Kenny?
Kenny. As the night goes on, the names get less silly. Eden Brent. That sounds very country.
It does.
Everybody, it's Eden Brent.
Yeah.
You know,
it's 2 people, or is that just one girl named Eden?
Eden Brent. I don't know how that works. Eden Brent. I don't know. John Primer.
Yep.
And then finally, John Del Toro, in quotes, Richardson.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you can't get off on that.
John Del Toro, what?
Del Toro.
He's got the whitest name ever and throws a Spanish...
Richardson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Throws a Spanish curveball at us.
Yeah, well, yeah,
What
we're
do you
supposed
think you are,
to...
Richard?
Because he plays like, he's like a Los Lobos cover band,
but
basically.
it was John.
Yeah.
Last name Richardson.
He plays La Bamba 12 times and then gets off stage.
Sounds a bit of a rattlesnake.
That's it. Hold on. I'm going to throw in O'Donna for you. Hold on a minute. All right. Crime rate in this town. What we're interested in, of course, here. The property crime, actually just slightly above the national average, but not too high. It's within normal range. Sure. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is less than half of the national average. Mm-hmm. So it's under half the national average. Very, very low. Yeah. So that said, of course, now it's time to talk about a murder.
Absolutely.
Let's do this here.
Let's go.
Let's start out. Let's talk about a couple of people.
I love it.
Let's see where they are in their lives.
Yep.
I like to jump into people's lives and kind of figure out.
Just have a gander, we'll look around, and then come back.
That's what I mean. We're going to look in. We're going to see who these people are. Let's go back to 2004.
Beautiful.
Everybody remember 2004? I guess.
We had no idea it was all about to go to shit.
Well, I mean, that's the time of like. You could check your email on your phone, but it took 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you really had to work at it.
Right.
And it was like the only social media was like MySpace,
right,
and message boards and shit. So this is a very different time.
Bret Michaels didn't know it was all about to come crashing down.
Oh, he knew it again. Well, yeah, he was just about to make a comeback. Actually,
wasn't
with that stupid
wasn't that
show.
This then? Wasn't that 2004?
Like 2007-ish.
I thought that was like 2004 to 2006.
No, that's when Flava Flav came, and then they started getting anybody, and they were like, "Whatever, who's the new kids on the block?"
Right.
There's Bret Michaels. Can we get? Wow, Vince Neil looks terrible. How's Bret Michaels look? A little better, I guess.
He's
Fine.
got hair plugs.
Put him on TV.
Extensions and shit.
Where's a fucking bandana anyway? What's the difference?
Nothing?
Get him out there.
And everything's hot to him. Let's do it.
Yeah, he's got like a eye makeup tattoo. Why not? He's ready to go. He's camera ready. Put him on stage there. Let's go.
Let's have him fuck people that nobody else wants to fuck anymore.
Let's have him. Let's have young women fawn over him. Yeah, that'll work.
There's only like 6 young women. There was always these like, holy shit,
which
they've been
makes sense
following.
because he was like 48. Why should there be a bunch of 22-year-olds? He should have some 40-year-olds in there.
But these chicks look like they've been following bands for the last 30 years.
Well, who would volunteer for the show?
That's a good point.
Either people who really want to be on TV or someone who's like, I've been wanting to fuck Bret Michaels since '89.
Right.
I saw Every Rose Has Its Thorn video, and I was like, oh, that black and white Bret Michaels is so goddamn sexy. I'm going to fuck him.
One of the chicks in one of the seasons, I think, fucked his drummer.
That's not okay. That's just, the whole thing is wrong.
That shit is unbelievable.
And we're just saying to want to have sex with anyone who is in Poison is weird.
That's crazy.
It's just a weird thing.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Stop it.
Get over that. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Yeah. That's not good. So, anyway, let's talk about a young lady here, now that we've said a bunch of horrible shit. Let's talk about a young woman here, and we'll cleanse the palate.
Right.
Her name is Julie Marie White Boyd. Boyd is her married name. Julie Marie White is her given name here.
Right.
She's 26 years old in 2004, Miss White. And I say Miss because she's just getting out of a 5-year marriage. So Ms., whatever you want to say, not Mrs. at this point. And she's just getting out of this 5-year marriage. She's trying to start her life over.
She's dropping Boyd.
She's dropping the Boyd, but she's using it for now.
Got it.
But I mean, so she got married when she's 21.
Yeah.
And then getting out of this marriage, that's tough. So
tough stuff.
But it's a good time. You still have a lot of
Oh, you got your whole life ahead of you.
No kids.
Right.
So, I mean, you can...
It feels like like everything's over.
Yeah, but in reality, you are...
Right.
The world's your oyster
it's
here.
All for you.
Yeah.
It's built for you.
It's good. It's tough because it would be hard to, like, if you were married at 21 and then at 26 you got a divorce, you'd be like, oh, how do people do stuff again now?
Yeah.
Because even from like 99 to 2004,
right.
the world changed a lot.
That and half of your 20s is like, that's where you learn things. Like at 19 to 21, you think you know everything. Then at 22, you realize you don't know fuck.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're 26, you're like, thank God I don't know anything. This world's amazing. I can learn things. But she's been in an area where she has been married. And so she probably feels like she knows a ton.
Yeah. Well, that's the marriage. And I don't know why this is, but marriage definitely makes you feel older.
Sure does.
I don't know if it's the decision to do something that's kind of so like serious like that, or if it's just the fact that it ages you rapidly.
And culturally, that's kind of the end of the next step is death, sir.
Yeah. And once you get, even back in the day when like girls weren't allowed to do anything in their families, even next step death, next step anything, girls weren't allowed to do anything at all. They weren't allowed to go out. If some guy proposed to them, fine, you're married now, go ahead. Like it was fine. They didn't even say like you shouldn't do that or anything. It was just like, well, now they're an adult, I guess. Yesterday, 10 o'clock curfew. Today, married.
Stay up all night.
Do whatever you want.
Because you got to cook your husband's breakfast.
Live with that guy. Well, we're talking about the 50s, so that would have been a definite there.
That's the thing.
So Julie's trying to start over in 2004. At the beginning of the year, her husband was the one who said he wanted a divorce.
Okay.
So, this was an unexpected thing. This wasn't her choice right away. So she's trying to move on and figure it out. She goes to church. Her family's fairly religious.
Okay.
She's a member of the Southeast Christian Church, and she works as an IT manager at the iPay in Elizabethtown.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Is that like
it's a kiosk for something?
Is it like a bill pay kiosk where you can pay like your water bill?
Yeah.
Maybe they're like,
I see that. Yep.
Right? You could see that happening?
Yeah.
Like a little
it's got to be something for utilities,
gas kiosk or something.
You're loading something as credit. That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I guess so. So I don't know though. Well, anyway, she's an IT manager, so it's a good career.
Yeah.
I mean, especially
keep those machines moving
in 2004, especially if you were 26, being in IT would have been you'd still have a job.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So good career path here.
Today her 401k is booming.
Yeah, good career path for Julie.
Yeah,
unless she worked for WorldCom or something, and that would have been Enron.
Yeah.
I got a job at Enron, Mom. Oh, shit.
IT manager at Enron.
Oh, wow.
Good for you.
Oh, how much is the lawyer going to cost you when you're done with that? It's going to be a lot. You might go to prison.
Ken, you asshole.
So a few months later, they're not getting along post breakup. Her and Boyd here, and I don't know why. It's a weird thing because he was the one who wanted to break up, but then afterwards, now there's apparently friction,
some regret,
to the point where Julie has to take out a restraining order on him.
Fuck, man.
So what's your fucking problem, dude? If you wanted to be in the relationship, you should have been in the relationship, and if you didn't,
there's no saying, James.
Go away.
Lay in the bed you made, or some shit like that.
Something like that. I don't know. You make your own bed and eat your cake.
You made this decision. Run with it, sir. You wanted to be single. It sucks, doesn't it?
You wanted to eat your cake and have a bed, so now you got it. What do you think of that? Now you got crumbs all over that motherfucker, and it's chocolate cake, and it looks like you shit the bed. So what's up?
Rub it on your chest without your shirt on and be a happy guy. That's what you chose this life.
Yeah, I mean, but she's like fearing him. Julie is fearing her ex-husband.
Jesus.
To the point where her neighbor, a woman named April Velez, said that Julie purchased a gun to keep with her, at least at her apartment, out of fear of her ex-husband here, or soon-to-be ex-husband. So that's a restraining order plus a gun equals there's something up here. I mean, that's not just a misunderstanding.
That's that cyclical.
She's scared.
Not child abuse, just cyclical spousal abuse that he was looking for. That's what he. This is the kind of thing that he's building.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't know. There is no we don't know if there's been abuse or anything like that, or if this is just some sort of
mental abuse.
Clearly, at this point, whatever the hell's causing a restraining order and someone to purchase a gun done as to be something at least, on the border of abusive, I would imagine. Or
you don't kick people
frightful.
out and then try to force them to come back. And that's, without a restraining order, it doesn't sound like he's forcing. But with one, it sure sounds like it.
It's very strange. But Julie apparently stays upbeat. And she's one of those people that I guess it's hard to realize she's got problems because she likes to stay upbeat and she likes to help other people. It's the type of person, you know what I mean? Everybody says she's bubbly and fun and nice and all that kind of shit. So good, that's good because some people can get a relationship like that goes bad can break people sometimes. So she keeps her spirit. She moved to Elizabethtown from a smaller town outside here, and she was attending different church groups, including one at the Severns Valley Baptist Church.
Yep.
It was a divorce recovery group.
Oh.
So she's, having a hard time with everything, and maybe I'm sure that's a lot of, if you're people scared of their spouses and sharing that, and I'm sure that's probably a wide net.
Common bonder, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wide net cast over of general divorce problems here. So she's doing that. She's at the church. She's really trying to move on.
Yeah.
Her mother said, quote, she got her apartment. She actually got a builder to start building a house
that's
at
awesome.
this point.
Yeah.
I mean, she's ready for a new life. So, I mean, she was...
Yeah. She's doing all the work.
She's doing the work. I mean, she's actually even going to...
Right.
Like a group to help.
It's going to actual
impressive.
church group. Like therapy sessions are enough. Church is so much more guilt.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think it's in the church, but it's probably like AAs at church sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's one of those. It's I'm sure everybody there is probably from the church, but I don't think it's like the Lord will guide you through divorce. I don't think there's anyone doing that. I think they're all just church people who are talking about their divorce problems, so they don't have to feel guilty about it.
I probably should have done that. That sounds like so much fun.
Not at church, though.
No, just some sort of group where we just all bitch about them. That sounds like fun.
You just came over my house and did it.
Yeah. But see, the difference is you're removed from it by 4 years or so. So you're like, I think I remember some of that. Not really that bad. Some of that, definitely not that.
Well, we had a different experience also.
I would have much rather enjoyed going with where we all just feel like we just ripped the Band-Aid off and we're all at the same level of pissed off.
Bunch of very angry people together.
I want that group.
That's funny. The 1 o'clock group is for people they're all right with the divorce. It was pretty amicable.
Yeah.
The 3 o'clock group, I mean, that's a little more aggressive. Yeah. There's maybe a custody battle or something. The 5 o'clock group, oh my God, that's a mess.
We sell tickets to it. That's how great it is.
There's restraining orders going around from people. There's restraining orders against people in each other in the group. There's a battle.
We hold that in the basketball arena because we sell tickets and it's sold out.
It's tough.
Maybe next month.
So now December of 2004 comes around. So this has been an active year for Julie. Her husband wants a divorce at the beginning of the year, gets her own place, moves out, divorce recovery group, gun, restraining order.
She's busy.
She's got a lot going on. She's building a life. She has a job that's, it seems like it's time consuming, I would imagine. She's working 40 hours a week, I'm sure, being an IT person. So she has a problem. Her ex-husband, their Boyd, we'll call him ex-Boyd here, because in everything here, it's really hard to find his first name. I don't know if they're why that is.
Is he like Madonna?
No, he's just Boyd.
He's a Kentucky Boyd.
Boyd is the name. So they have him here. He apparently has a truck that belongs to her. Okay. It was his truck that he was driving, but she bought it and it's her truck and it's
in her name.
Yeah, it's in her name. She's paying for it, I guess.
Cough it up, motherfucker.
Exactly. So finally, by December of 2004, when all the dust is starting to settle here, she decides she wants to get it back.
Yeah.
So she finds a guy in the group that she's in the divorce group here. And this one guy, his uncle or his cousin, has a private investigation firm and all that. And they do some repos and they do stuff like that.
Somebody's got a tow truck.
So, yeah, exactly. So, she was kind of told he might be able to help her, and that's so they kind of they get to know each other in the group here, and basically she was telling everybody that, she thought her husband was going to be pissed off about this.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. It's winter
Yeah.
and the weather's bad and shit like that here. We're in December, and I guess he has a car that's always fucked up and broken down, so he needs a truck for work and shit like that, but she's taking it back. So she said, this is going to be bad. That's why it helps to have somebody helping me on this repo here.
Yeah.
So she said that, quote, she told other people that basically if something happened to her, her husband did it. One of those, hey, something ever happens to me, it's probably because I'm taking his truck away. And I put a restraining order on him.
The words are, I'm taking my truck back. And he's going to be furious.
In his mind, taking my truck away.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's going to be upset. So back to the summer of 2004, that's when she had met a guy named Harvey Edward Skaggs Jr.
He sounds great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harvey, I'll say that one more time. Harvey Edward Skaggs Jr.
He plays the spoons.
Whoa. That is hardcore, man.
That's Kentucky.
And I found his family tree too. Yeah. They are. He didn't just move there 8 years ago like these people in the review. He's been there a while. Yeah, he's like, we kicked Boz out. Boz's side of the family got kicked out in 1745. Custer drove him out in 1870s. Wow. She meets him, and this is at a divorce recovery group at the Severns Valley Baptist Church. Okay. He's there also, obviously. I assume he's not just, swinging for chicks.
Right.
I assume.
It's a pretty smart ploy, though.
I get, but you better have a really good story.
He's just a guy that just brings muffins for everybody. I understand you guys are probably pissed off. Brought you some sugar for the evening. I'm Mr. Skaggs.
If you were the weird guy named Harvey Skaggs.
I'm Harvey Skaggs Jr.
Who isn't divorced and just hangs around the divorce group. I have a feeling people are going to give you some shit.
Yeah, he's dropping the shiny lure.
I assume so. So, this is going to be bad all around. So, at some point here, this is when they talk about the repossessing the truck and all that sort of thing.
Sure.
Harvey here, he's got no kind of criminal record or anything like that. He's just kind of a normal guy. He was in the Air Force. He went in the Air Force right after high school and was in there for about 10 years.
My God.
So he's 30 now, so he's been out of the Air Force for a couple years. He's apparently divorced.
That's a retired guy, right? You can retire in 10, I think.
I'm not sure about that.
I think that's true. I think if you re-up twice, you can retire after.
I'm sure there's
That's awesome.
Some sort of package.
30 retired.
Hey,
move on.
Good for you. So and he's doing I think he does some HVAC and he does some work for his cousin's PI firm on the side too. So he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with himself. Basically, he came back from just being in active duty. I guess it would be actually in the service and wearing a uniform and shit. Now he's a civilian and he's just like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Right.
Try to find a good path for me, basically. So he does that. He's doing a little repo work here, a little stuff like that. And he says about Julie, quote, she wanted me to try to find the truck that was in her name, and if I could, get the truck and bring it back to her. Uh-huh. Fair enough. That seems pretty
easy task.
Pretty basic, I guess. That's a repo.
Let's go.
So, she gets this guy. I don't know. She may be thinking, my ex-husband's not going to fuck with a guy named Harvey Skaggs. At the time, his main job, Harvey, is he works for Allen's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Okay.
So there you go. And his cousin, this is great because it just reminds me of Back to the Future here. His cousin's name, Marvin.
Yeah.
Marvin Skaggs.
Marvin and Harvey?
Marvin and Harvey.
They love names with V's in them.
That is wild, man. That's a lot. Marvin and Harvey. We're going to the whole family. Now, Boyd apparently is pissed and, whatever. And I guess he's keeping the truck in his garage because he knows this is coming. He's heard this is coming.
He's got theories.
So,
strategy.
Now, old Boyd, their ex-Boyd, is just hiding the truck. They ain't never going to take my truck from me.
Like people do when the bank's after them.
Yeah. That's what I mean. How come I hide it in the backyard, turned around so they can't see the plate? That's how it's going to work. So that's pretty fucking amazing. So on December the 29th, 2004, here comes around, and Skaggs and Boyd here, Julie, we're talking here, meet at the church to discuss Harvey going to repossess the truck sometime that week. Maybe we can do this. What Harvey says is I need a copy of the truck's title and a note granting me permission to drive it to you, basically. Right. So, that all makes sense to make it legal.
Shouldn't in a position like this, you just call the cops to go with you? You know what I mean?
They don't do that.
Wouldn't that be the smart?
They won't do that.
There's a TV show on A&E that used to be like repo and trucks and shit. These guys were like strapped and shit. Yeah, and they call the cops because this is a dangerous job to be doing.
Well, yeah, I used to be a process server, and basically, like, if there was a problem and you call the cops, they wouldn't help you at all.
Really?
They'd be like, I don't know. Be like, this guy's threatening to shoot me while I serve literal fucking judicial process here. You want to maybe just come out and say, hey, don't shoot him? And they're like, nah. Basically, call us back if he shoots you.
Right.
That's basically
maybe
what it was.
Maybe you should have gone to high school,
James. Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Thanks for everything, officer.
I'll see you the next time I have to drop the child support upping papers on you, sir. Thank you. Can't wait for that day. Thanks for the help.
Appreciate your help.
That'll be a sweet day for me. Finally, I'll get some.
I'm looking forward to the day that your wife catches you cheating on her. You loser.
Allow me to help. I used to hate that. I had to do some weird shit. Like there was a. I won't say who it is, but I had to it's a guy who's actually famous in Phoenix here. I had to drop papers on him. His wife made me do it, but she made me sit in a Starbucks with them, not with them, off like in a, like I was there when they got there.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to tell, read him the riot act. Yeah. And then when she got up, then I go over and drop the papers. Like I had to play the whole thing. So I had to sit there and watch her argue with him for 20 minutes.
There could be an amazing movie about a process server.
Well, they made stupid Pineapple Express and ruined it for everybody. So that's the only one that'll ever happen now.
God damn it.
If you could make a really good movie about it because there's a lot of stories.
One that doesn't involve weed would be great.
Well, yeah. I mean, although weed helps in that job, I will say.
Well, but don't make the plot of the movie weed.
That's the problem right there. Yeah. If you made the plot.
Give it a good plot, but then throw some spicy shit of a basketball player getting served in a Starbucks.
It wasn't. It was a businessman. They'll say. But it was an older guy. It was funny.
James has to learn how to order a Starbucks.
Yeah, coffee. I just got hot chocolate. I don't like coffee, so I'm drinking hot chocolate.
The guy in the beanie in 112 degrees was like, "Really, bro?"
She did buy me hot chocolate, though. I will say that. So that was nice of her. It was on her. It was on her. I think it was a small one because I'm just, I thought
large.
I thought she was going to be like, "You're a dick and I'm leaving," and move. But this was like a whole speech she had.
It's a whole thing.
This was a monologue that she worked out. Because he didn't say 5 words the whole time. He sat there nodding his head, and she was just blah, blah, blah. She was going, and then she just got up and looked at me, and I was like, all right, I guess I got.
She's doing old Jay Leto.
I went, there you go, and he just went like, all right. Like, he just had this resigned look like, all right, I understand. I got to give her credit for the orchestration of the whole thing. She really had a whole.
She has some jokes about Paris Hilton to level in there, too.
I guess. If you got
Nick Lachey.
Hey, what are you doing? I would say if you got a couple of bucks and you want to divorce your spouse, that's probably the way to do it.
It's pretty solid.
It's pretty fucking cool. I mean, if you're going to do that in public, have papers dropped on them. And like I said, some people recognize and shit too, which made it even funnier.
Also, if you don't know whether or not you're going to have a contentious or an amicable divorce, that's a good way to figure it out.
Yeah.
When she does that shit in a Starbucks.
He was just
and James hands you a packet over your shoulder.
Yeah, I just dropped it right next to his fucking coffee, man. I think he had like a croissant type situation going, some sort of pastry, and I just put it right next to that. There you go.
I gotta go.
Good news, bad news. Good news is you got a pastry.
Yeah. Bad news, that's the last of your money.
Yeah. Bad news is you're not going to be able to afford a pastry soon because I've seen what she wants in the papers, and oh boy, you're in trouble, sir.
She wants all the pastry.
I also saw that you did bad things, and she's probably going to get all that shit. So, just saying, not for nothing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Jesus Christ. So, December 29th there, like I said, they meet at the truck. They meet at the church. Yeah. Julie gives Harvey the title and the note saying, Harvey is allowed to drive this truck to me in a repossession type situation.
Because it's not his.
Exactly. Right. So, they plan to meet the following night and try to accomplish this goal here. So, December 30th, 2004, here they meet at 8 p.m. and in Rineyville.
Yeah.
This is in Rineyville. That's,
down the road, peace.
Everybody knows Rineyville.
Right.
It's right outside of Elizabethtown.
We've heard tell of it.
We know. We all know. Pray tell.
Yeah.
So Harvey meets Julie at the convenience store, And Julie at this point is driving a Ford Mustang that she had just picked up from her parents' house, I guess. I don't know if it's their car or her car that she was keeping there or what. But she's driving a Mustang. He is driving his work van at the time, Harvey Skaggs, which is the Allen's Heating and Air Conditioning van.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he's got the HVAC van, which fits in anywhere.
Yeah.
That's like in every like cheesy movie. When some like team of detectives is doing work, it's either a dry cleaning van or an HVAC van, or like even a phone company van's too.
Sometimes
it's too much. The phone company, but HVAC,
it's like our phones work fine. Why is that fucking guy here?
Exactly. That's and you even see that in movies. My phone's fine. Why is he outside? Unless and then they shoot him off a pole.
Right.
But like in this situation, like if you saw an HVAC truck, you're like, everybody's heating or air conditioning's always fucked up. Who knows? It's December.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows or whatever. So it seems fine. So he's driving that. She's driving a Mustang. So they meet at the Jerry Mart, Jerri.
Oh boy,
like a curl.
You get a bunch of
There's
curls
an H in there, I think, in the curl, but still.
I think you're right. Yeah, Jerri.
Yeah. Either way, though, it's a Jerry Curl Mart here in Rhineyville.
Just aisles of grease.
It's just a big picture of Eazy-E on over the entrance. That's all it is. Him and Eric LaSalle about to fight.
Yeah, the black guy's mullet. Everybody's embarrassed that they had it.
Yeah, it is. No, that's what it is. That's the black guy's version of the Joe Dirt mullet. That's exactly what it is. Like, oh man,
I can't believe I did that.
I'm burning all my '80s pictures. I'll tell you what. Black guy's like, me too, sir. Yeah. I am going to also burn all of my shit because I was dripping.
Keep that lid.
Dripping.
I was so dripping, these pictures will fuel that fire.
That's it. Yeah. Look at that.
Even pictures of it were flammable.
You couldn't even see my face from the flash off the shininess of my Jerry curl. That's the problem. It was just a light. It's like, like a glow around me.
Sometimes when you take a picture, your eyes turn red. My head turned red.
Turned just a white glow. That's what happened to my head and my Jerry curls, of course. So anyway, at 9:30, or before 9:30, they met at 8. Like I said, they're talking at the Jerry Mart.
Yep.
And the way Harvey Skaggs puts it, quote, and from there everything went haywire.
As soon as we pulled in.
Which is not...
to unravel.
Exactly. Yeah. That's not good, right? When they got together to talk about this. At 9:30 p.m., Julie talks on the phone with Linda Davis, who's a friend of hers from church. And she's with Harvey at this point. They'd met, like I said, she's still with them. They're planning on how to do the repo.
Yeah.
And Julie is planning to stay the night with Davis so her husband can't find her. So... basically, she's like, if we pull this off, he's going to come fucking looking for me probably, and I better be, better be in the wind here for my own safety. So she is on the phone, or she's on the phone, going to stay with this Linda Davis that night after they figure out what they're doing. So Davis here says that Julie said, well, things aren't looking good. Maybe we're not going to get it tonight. We're waiting for them to bring the truck. So that's what Julie told her friend, basically. So I don't know what's going to happen, but either way, I'll be there later. Maybe I'll get the truck. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Yeah. Which sounds, how many times do you have to try to get this truck? That sounds frustrating.
How fucked is society that this doing what's right is fucking dangerous?
Yeah, it is.
It's super
to get your truck
to
back.
Get your shit back.
To get your thing that you're paying for.
She paid for it.
Yeah.
It's her money.
Still, yeah.
And this guy's going to be this is crazy.
It's really interesting here, and messed up. So around 11:30 p.m., they're still trying to figure out what to do. So it's been 3.5 hours now.
Right.
All this shit.
Can't nail down a plan yet?
I guess, I don't know if they're trying to find him.
Yeah.
Or, maybe they heard he's over here. Maybe the truck's at a bar. Maybe it's in his garage. I guess you got to try to track down where it is first.
A bar would be great.
A bar would be perfect.
That'd be amazing.
Just go in, take it, and go.
Or you walk in, you send a guy that doesn't know him to sit down at the bar, buy the guy a drink, and then fake a phone call and be like, I got to run. This guy's busy with this beer. That's plenty of time to get this truck on the truck.
Or you could just go anyway. Probably
or just
either way.
Jump the fuck in and put your key in the
He's drinking.
Yeah.
How drunk is he?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How much of a drunk is your ex-husband? He's going to be there till closing, isn't he? All right, then.
We got time.
It's all right, just bring it in. Bring lunch in, too, actually. Roast beef, please. Yeah,
Best
can bring me a
place to
sandwich.
get one.
Oh, perfect. I love eating it in a bar parking lot at midnight. The sound, or the fumes of a flatbed idling nearby.
Flatbed diesel.
So Julie calls her mother at this point. And her mother says, quote, as always, she says, Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry. The mother says she always tells her to be safe. And that was that, basically. And the mother says, quote, that's really the last thing I was able to ever say to her.
Oh, no.
So, okay. Cut to 2 a.m. Now, that was 11:30. 2 a.m., Harvey says that he wakes up from unconsciousness at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
He's been knocked unconscious, and he wakes up at 2 a.m. in the back of his van, lying next to Julie. Julie, he says, had electrical tape around her neck and was making a gurgling sound.
Oh, boy.
Okay. He says that he removed the electrical tape and turned her head to the side to clear her airway. Then he drove the van then he drove the van here to the Hardin Memorial Hospital.
Yeah.
And they arrived about 2:15 at the hospital. He parked the car in the parking garage instead of going to parked the van in the parking garage rather than the ER entrance.
Yeah.
And then he carried her from the garage to the ER entrance, got inside, and collapsed on the ground with her and everybody. They fell in a heap. And, you can imagine, picture some, the scene that's going to go on there too. Bloody people,
jaded nurses going, oh, this again.
Yeah, oh boy, here we go. So apparently, Julie has electrical tape on her and stuff, and things that would show that, wow, there's medical assistance needed at this point.
This is the problem.
So I would say that from 11:30 to 2 o'clock in the mornings, whatever happened in there, I would classify that as haywire, probably.
It's a lot that happened.
It's a lot of haywire. Yeah. Let's just say that. So now, what happened exactly? Obviously, I'm kind of curious to know here. Now, according to Harvey, Julie left her Mustang at the Jerry Mart and got into the van with him, which usually is never a good idea to get into a van with someone, but in this case, understandable.
One of the only times.
One of the only times here, so that it would be an okay idea. So they drove around for 2 hours discussing the details of how they're going to repo it. Where is the van? Where is the truck? Where are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And then Harvey says that he then brought her back to the Mustang at the Jerry Mart after a couple hours because they couldn't find the truck.
Right.
Basically couldn't come up with a plan at the time to get it that night. And she told her friend even, we might not get it tonight. Basically this is her new hobby, is trying to repossess this fucking truck because who knows how long it's going to take. That sucks. So anyway, he brings her back there and what he says, Harvey says that when she exited the van, as soon as she got out, he says a man grabbed her from behind and pushed her back into the passenger seat of the van while Harvey's in the driver's seat. He said that this man and a second man who was smaller than the first man then got into the van through the cargo doors of the van, through the back, as you can picture those ones that open out like that. So Julie pushed back into the passenger seat. These two rushed through the cargo van. It might have been the side, actually, not
possibly
the back. I think
slider.
it's the slide.
It's got to be a slider. Because the other way, you'd have time to get away, right? And now they're trapped in the van.
Yeah, the other way, there's only a little, support thing between that door and that door. So they pop in through the cargo area of the van and get into there. He also says, Harvey does, that the larger man entered the van with a gun. He said that he had the gun and had it out, and then he put it away at that point and basically was like, I got a gun kind of a thing. And
you've seen it.
You've seen it. I don't have to fucking hold it on you the whole time. We're all adults here.
Right.
So
I got this elbow.
It hurts to hold it up. I got a carpal tunnel situation.
Just drive.
Drive. Go ahead. I've been typing a lot. Let's just say there's a pen pal I talk. Just never mind. All right. She lives in the Philippines. It's fine. Just leave me alone. You have said too much. So Harvey says at that point that the men told him to drive, basically. You drive right now. And for the next 2 hours, he drove all around Hardin County.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't know why you would want to take people and make them drive around for 2 hours, but whatever.
It took them 2 hours to figure out what to do with them, while it took them 2 hours to figure out how do we get a truck.
Yeah. And imagine if this was going on and while it was happening, it was like, there's the truck.
Yeah.
Then what? Listen, guys, I know this is like a weird situation, but I'll give you like $500 if you help us repo this truck. That gun's going to come in handy.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. But anyway, He says that the two men were wearing masks, so not possible to ID, with open area around the eyes, like a ski mask.
Yeah.
And he says they spoke, and this is a quote, with, quote, very proper with Yankee accents.
Okay.
I don't know what
that means.
Very proper, like a Harvard professor.
Yeah.
Like an old-timey, stuffy New England accent.
They've got manners, and they're from Boston.
Like a Kennedy.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Or are we talking like a pretentious, Harvard professor? Is that what we're talking about?
I want it to be Kennedy's. So
right?
Bad.
That would be hilarious.
Have not drive.
Drive around. I would love that.
Have not drive the van.
If it was Ted Kennedy, drive it into that river. Right off the bridge.
If it's Ted Kennedy, avoid the rivers. Avoid the bridges.
Who's been drinking?
I have PTSD.
Give me some. So now they very proper or Yankee. Does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, proper.
That's so vague.
Or is a proper Yankee accent get in the fucking van. What are you doing? Hey, get in here. Drive around.
Yeah.
What the? You saw the gun. I don't need to keep it out. You heard me.
Don't look at me.
Hey, I got tendonitis in my fucking shoulder. I'm going to keep it on you all night. No. The hell out of here. What are you doing? Come on, drive. Keep driving.
You get what's happening here.
Very proper with Yankee accents.
It's so specifically vague.
There could be. It's very proper and with Yankee accents.
It means
it's
nothing. It means everything and nothing at the same time.
And what is he? Imagine as someone that's actually they're very proper with Yankee accents. Yeah. Where are you? What year is this? Is that how people talk?
Doesn't make sense.
No, right? So that's so weird. It has to be like proper Which how many carjackers with hoods with masks on speak with
If you say that to two different detectives, though, both of them have a different idea of what was just said.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
You've got to. Both of them have to look at each other and go, "Nope, not you. Nope, me either." Say it again.
What are you talking about now? He does say that the men called Julie by her first name.
That's not good.
Speaking to her in a mocking tone, he said, with proper Yankee accents, I guess. I don't know. They asked Julie if she had enough money to save Harvey's life. And then asked Harvey if he had enough money to save Julie's life.
Probably not.
So they were going back and forth. Who's going to live here? You got enough money? You got enough money? Who's going to save who? The men here, according to Harvey, asked Julie if she had the money or if her husband had the money.
Okay.
Now, Julie, according to Harvey, told the men that she didn't know what they were talking about. Yeah. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not with my husband.
Right.
So how would I know
divorced.
That?
I don't have one of those.
Yeah. So, or they're not divorced yet.
Right.
But now, he also says at some point during this interrogation about, do you have this money? The larger of the men began to punch Julie in the mouth with his fist. With a right hand every time. He said he was popping her in the mouth with the right hand when he didn't like the answer she was giving, according to Harvey here. They demanded money from Julie. They kept, demanding more money. And when she, I guess, didn't acquiesce with exactly what they wanted, they continued to hit her and hit her over and over again. So Harvey says at this point, all of this with a very proper Yankee accent, mind you.
Yeah.
He says at this point he heard a thud and looked over and saw that Julie was bleeding.
Oh, boy.
He says he looked down and he saw a hammer on the floor by the passenger seat. So I don't know why someone would hit someone with a hammer and then put it on the floor.
Right.
With access to
Unless he threw it at her.
Maybe, or dropped it. Harvey says he told the men that's not necessary. That's uncalled for. Oh, okay. He said.
Who's the proper one here?
Hey, that's uncalled for, my friend. I'm sorry, but I mean,
that's out of line, sir.
I mean, there's being a dick and there's some etiquette, and I mean, this is just piss poor etiquette, is what I'm telling you. No, this is obviously it's uncalled for. Yeah. Hitting a woman with a hammer is past the point of uncalled for.
He crossed the line when he punched her. That's too far.
That's too far, and the hammer's really a bit much, I would say, and to put it mildly.
Sure.
Obviously. He says at that point, one of the men hit him in the back of the head, punched him in the back of the head for, I guess, saying something.
Yep.
He says that a little while later, because this is over the course of 2 hours, God knows how long.
Right.
Sometime a little later, The men hit Boyd in the head with the hammer again, he said. Hits Julie again. Harvey told later on, he says that Julie never tried to block any of the blows from the fist or the hammer because she never saw them coming.
Wow.
First of all, you're in a dark van, he said, and then they would just out of nowhere just whack her one.
Yeah.
So
my guess is these guys aren't wearing seatbelts. Why don't you hit a fucking tree, man?
Or, something. Slam on the brakes and send them through the windshield, I guess.
I mean, at this point, the guy's got a gun.
Well, if they're behind the
I'll
seats.
take my chances rolling this shit over.
Behind the seats in an HVAC van is no seats.
No, and there's so much shrapnel
implements
back there.
and shit. Oh, yeah, pipes
you roll
and
that
things
fucking thing,
yeah.
it's over for them.
Oh, God, they're going to be cutting 45. Oh, God, I have ductwork in my neck.
I think there's a fucking propane tank up my ass.
Oh, God, I'm pretty positive of it. It's rough. People use propane for their
they got a
I know.
Good torch thing.
Why? It hurts up my ass is what I was getting at. Anyway, my house in New York, we have propane for like the stovetop is a propane thing.
Really?
It's a propane stovetop.
So you got to fill a propane tank.
No, we don't have to fill shit. It's like a huge tank. It's on the back of the house.
But you'll have to fill that one day.
There's a company that fills it.
Yeah.
But you fill like once a year.
That's my point. Somebody's got to come fill that.
Yeah, like once the same. There's oil there too, so it's the same people that do.
Wait, what?
Oil heat. There's an oil heat burner type thing. An old house.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, oil.
You got oil pumping through the house?
It goes into the burner, and then that makes heat that comes out of radiators.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah, a guy comes in with a hose and fucking
pipes oil into your fucking house.
The basement there.
Oh, my God.
There's a little pipe that comes out of the basement that he puts it in, and it goes into the.
There's natural gas today, James. Switch this shit over.
You can't. There's no natural gas line to the house. Is like it's an old house, Jimmy. It's very old.
So scared to death.
It's people lived for hundreds of years like that. I think not in hundreds.
Obviously, they still do.
It's probably fires, I guess.
A couple hundred years,
but yeah,
they
still do.
I bet they still have it in England. They have oil lamps, right? On the streets.
I mean, that's just for show. I think
fun.
At that point, it's just kitschy now, right? It's not actually.
That's just some hipster shit.
This is the best way to make light. I don't think anyone's saying that
English
this is it.
Shit.
Yeah, I think this is just like, isn't it charming? Gives it an old-timey Jack the Ripper feel, doesn't it? I feel like.
Doesn't it feel like you're just going to get stabbed at any minute?
Just someone's going to come out of the fog and eviscerate you and just vivisect you right in the sidewalk. Doesn't it feel like that? Yeah. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. Yeah. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping. You got a car payment due. There's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover. Yeah. Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing. No. They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
You know, so
Christ.
At this point, Harvey says that the men direct him to drive to Julie's apartment in Rhineyville, which is where she lives.
Yeah.
However, once they stopped there, they told him, Harvey, that is, the men told Harvey to get out of the van and check on Julie, who apparently, one of them at this point, he wasn't driving anymore. And I guess they want
seats somehow.
He said that he got out and went in the van through the cargo door because she was in the back by then.
Got it.
He said that at this point she's in the passenger seat. He says that she was conscious at this point, and then they told him after he checked on her to get back into the driver's seat again and drive.
Okay.
So why they went to the apartment, I have no idea, but there they go. They said Harvey says after he drove around some more, the men then directed Harvey to go back to the Jerry Mart.
Yeah.
The original point of abduction. Once they stopped, he says that as soon as he put the thing in park or whatever, one of the men put something like a shoestring, a strong, thin string around his neck and pulled him from the driver's seat into the cargo area of the van. He says he lost consciousness, and then he doesn't know for how long, but he does know that he woke up at 2 a.m. next to Julie in the van with electrical tape around her neck and making a gurgling sound. That's his claim. He says he removed the electrical tape, turned her head to clear the airway. Like we said, gets to the hospital by 2:15. Parking garage, carries her in, collapses, medical staff run over. Scene. Oh, my God. So that's haywire, I would say.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Right.
That's what he says happened.
That's his story. That's a fucking banana story. But in Kentucky, in a fucking small town,
we've heard crazier.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
True.
This is episode 220. Yeah. How many? We've probably heard 100 crazier stories. I'm not even kidding.
That blazer in Manistee in the woods on fire is crazy.
So many stories where we're like, no. The kid who was a paraplegic and they just tied his feet to the four-wheeler handlebar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
some wild shit happened.
That's some wild shit goes on here. So I guess upon arriving at the emergency room, Julie has no cardiac or respiratory activity.
It's over.
And she's pronounced dead at 2:26 a.m.
Oh, my God.
So I guess they worked on her for 10 minutes and then pronounced her. So that's, not very long. So, 26-year-old woman here, obviously senselessly. Right. There's whatever this is. She didn't kill anybody or molest anybody's kids or anything like that. So nobody's deserving of this.
She wants her truck back?
I think she wants her truck back or who knows what whatever. So the cause of death here is determined to be multiple blunt force head injuries and ligature strangulation. Yeah. And if a a little cocktail of the two here. Emergency room nurse Jennifer King, she observed a small scratch on the back of Harvey's head and then dried blood on his hand and face. Otherwise, he didn't have any visible injuries. They did end up finding a small mark on his neck that was visible in pictures taken at the hospital that night. Yeah. So you could see a mark on his neck. She said, though, the nurse said that she didn't see any marks on his neck before he was placed in a neck brace to stabilize his neck there. So, and a lot of times they say that they've seen collars like that make marks that look like things like that. So basically, he doesn't have a lot of marks on him here. He's got a little scratch on the back of his neck.
If you got drugged to the back of a vehicle by your fucking neck.
To the point of losing consciousness.
There should be some ligature there.
I would imagine some marks on your neck.
And up high.
Yeah, and moving around.
Yeah.
You're a grown man.
Right.
And a grown man who's been in the military for 10 years. It's not like he's like, it's a guy who's probably got some sort of strength.
Sure.
He's probably in half shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just got out of the 10 years fucking stretch in the Air Force.
Right.
So they talked to Skaggs. Obviously, they want to know what the hell happened. Hey, what's going on there, Chief? So he says that, he had told his friends that he'd be out a couple hours with this Julie trying to help her repo a truck. She told all her friends we'll be out a few hours with Harvey trying to repo this truck. So, all that lines up. He says, quote, to them, quote, and a lot of things went bad and Julie ended up getting murdered that night. That's what he said later on.
That's a hell of a tale.
He said, quote, the man behind Julie asked her, called her by name, and wanted to know where the money was. She said she didn't know what they was talking about. Mm-hmm. That's how he talks. Didn't know what they was talking about. So, that's what he told the police that night. He said, quote, that at 2 a.m., quote, I woke up, Julie was gargling, and I drove her to the hospital. Uh-huh. That's what he told the cops. And, so the doctor said that Julie was dead when she arrived. They just tried to work on her. Right. Obviously, she's a 26-year-old, so you'd probably want to try to save her.
In the van, there was a death rattle. It's over already.
It's not going well.
That's pretty much the end.
The doctor, this is Dr. Kevin Marble.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sure he's a wonderful doctor, and I'm not going to say anything about his abilities, but I feel like I could make this determination. Yeah. He said, quote, 2 things. She was not breathing, and the other thing is she had severe trauma to her head. I mean, that's funny, but the way he said it is really...
Sounds like...
Is that how you determined that she was not alive anymore?
Right.
The fact that...
And then that third pesky part of her heart stopped, and we couldn't get it to go again.
All sorts of stuff going on,
What a dummy.
Wow. So they couldn't determine her exact time of death, though, they said.
Yeah.
They couldn't, because it was so close to it. They can't, it's within like 4 hours they usually can do it.
They got a window. They're like
it's
the
a window.
Company. Yeah.
She's in that window, so you can't tell, she died at 1:18 p.m. That doesn't work. So he just kept saying, he told the cops that he told them, I told you everything I know, Harvey says, up to the point where I lost consciousness. Obviously, I can't tell you any more than that. And here is the dialogue from the interview that night.
Oh, boy.
The police officer says to him, quote, why did you kill her?
Oh, boy.
Harvey says, quote, I did not kill her. Policeman says, yes, you did.
Oh, boy.
He says, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Or no, I did not.
Yeah.
Police says, tell us why. We just want to know why, Junior. By the way, he
loves
call him Junior.
Yeah.
We just want to know why, Junior. Junior says, quote, I did not kill that girl. I did not kill her with a squirrel. I did not kill her. Sounds like I don't know why it sounds like the beginning of a Dr. Seuss poem.
I did not kill her with a blue myrtle.
It's just, so fucking strange.
I did not kill her while listening to Merle.
Wow, I did not kill that girl.
I did not kill her wearing a Jerry curl.
No, even though we were at the Jerry Mark. So police say, tell us why. He says, I did not kill that girl.
Yeah.
Again, then police officer says, there has to be a reason why. And he says, I did not kill that girl.
While he did a twirl.
So, while I did a twirl and dreamt about traveling around the world.
Went to Dairy Queen and got a swirl.
Oh, boy.
What the fuck? I'm so nervous, I'm going to hurl.
Oh, boy, man. So after they talk to him at the hospital, Harvey goes home.
Yeah.
he says, I didn't kill her. This is what happened. They said, yeah, you did. And he said, no, I didn't. And they don't have any proof at this point of anything other than she's not alive anymore. Yeah. So they let him go home. They obtain and execute a search warrant on the van he was driving that night, obviously. That's where all the evidence would be.
Yeah.
It was owned by Allen's Heating and Air Conditioning, obviously, and it was parked in the hospital's parking garage. There was a significant amount of blood, according to the police here, on both the inside and outside of the van. Okay. They collected some evidence, photographed the van, and then decided that a forensic team from Frankfurt should probably be called to examine the van. Really?
As soon as you see blood.
Hey, there's blood. Let's get forensics in here. And they were like, oh, we could take some pictures and poke around a bit. And they were like, oh, there's a lot of stuff. Let's just go. We should call them fellers that come in with them notebooks and things. And
the guys with the cameras.
Them bags with they got like to seal them up real good. Like I'm using a sandwich bag. I had my sandwich that I brought into work in this earlier. So I don't know if there's crumbs in it. That's from me.
I heard they got Q-tips. Let's call them.
Yeah, the crumbs is from me, and then the Q-tips too. Yeah, that's how it works. So they end up doing that. They collect some evidence. They get the Frankfurt forensic team in there. Then it's covered with a tarp and taken to the Elizabethtown Police Department where it's secured away.
Right.
Okay, so the investigation, obviously, we need an investigation here to see what the fuck's going on. Julie, her family, they have a funeral for her, and they don't know.
Yeah,
obviously,
there's no closure there.
They don't know what the fuck's going on at that point. One of the police officers involved said, quote, it's a complex investigation still going on. We're still tracking leads down and talking to people who may or may not have information. He says, quote, he said that anything could have caused some blunt force trauma. I think some people have zeroed in on that it's a hammer, and it may be, but we're not 100% sure of that. Right now, there's just a lot of open ends to this case. Yeah. So they're hiding, obviously, a bunch of info.
Sure.
Anytime you read about a story of a murder and they talk about it and it's before, like, an arrest is made, they're not telling you shit.
They don't want to.
They're telling you nothing. They're holding back anything that's a detail that's
compromised so much.
No, like we were talking about in one of our bonus episodes a couple weeks ago with the Night Stalker.
Right.
They're not going to tell you about the shoes. They're not going to tell you about all these different little things that nobody else knew about. The
Ms.
drawings
Feinstein,
on the wall.
Pipe down.
Well, yeah.
She didn't know.
No, she didn't know. She thought she was doing the right thing. They're like, oh, we forgot. Oh, we should have told her that.
Well, there goes realizing.
Oh, damn it. Fuck.
Thanks, guys.
So, so they're saying a lot of open ends. Yeah. So obviously, basically, there's two people the police are going, we got to talk to here. One, Harvey Skaggs, because he's there and doesn't seem as injured as he should be. And two, Julie's husband probably should be talked about here since they've been trying to repossess his truck and all this shit. And apparently, if what Harvey's saying is true, has something to do with her husband. So they don't know, is it guys who her husband owes money to? Is it her husband trying to throw people off the scent with that sort of thing? Who knows?
To hang on to the truck.
Who knows what's going on? So basically, they go to Julie's husband's house the day after the murder, or a few days after the murder, and they said they, quote, searched that residence, took photographs of him, and collected evidence there. They showed a handgun. They end up confiscating a handgun that appeared to have blood on it.
Oh,
which that's how many you have guns?
I got a lot of them. None of them got blood.
I was gonna say how many of them have blood on them?
Oh, they're
Joey?
So clean.
Do you just keep?
No,
I just bleed on my guns sometimes, and just I don't know. I just like doing it.
The thing about guns is they're not real sharp, so you can't really cut your hand while cleaning it.
It's more difficult.
That's one thing. The other part is the point of the whole reason to clean it is to not have blood on it. But
I would think so.
If he hunts with this gun, he might have shot something and then put it back and been a lazy gunner.
And then just not cleaned it.
Who knows? That could be chicken blood.
That's who knows. There you go. Now they take the gun as evidence because Harvey said the attackers had a handgun.
Yeah,
this all fits. Now they're obviously interested in the husband here, and they said when Julie phoned her friend that she was going to stay at her house, Davis, there at 9:30. That she was saying that was at that point she's alive. 9:30. We know that she's alive at 9:30. We know she's with Harvey.
Yeah.
So those things are facts. Now, Julie's husband, I mean here, her ex-Boyd, and ex-Boyd's new girlfriend have just arrived home. Give the truck back. You have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Let her drive her truck. What are you doing?
You kicked out the wife and moved in a girl already?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't need her car.
No, get a truck from this one if you need a truck from your girlfriend. I don't know.
Figure it out, sir.
Yeah, so anyway, they had just arrived home at that point, according to the boyfriend, or according to the ex's girlfriend. She said that the two spent the rest of the evening making Jell-O shots and watching TV.
Class. All class. All
Very
class.
classy. Wow. You have a house.
Right. How old are you, sir?
Once you have a house, you're too old to make Jell-O shots. If you have a kitchen to make them in, you're too old to make them. That's the fucked up part about them. It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22.
If you're past undergrad and college, no more Jell-O shots. And I'm not talking about if you even went the age. 22.
That's it.
No more of those.
If you've ever been married, that immediately cuts it out. Yeah, you're done
19,
at that point.
No more.
I don't care when you get married. I don't care if your parents sign off, whatever, you're fucking...
It's over
You live in Utah, it doesn't matter. Too old. So she said, quote, "We stayed home that night." Okay. Now,
just the two of us with Jell-O shots.
Two of us. We watched Matlock and did Jell-O shots. I don't know what they're watching.
That is a bizarre night.
Yeah, I figured the oldest activity and mix it with something that 16-year-olds should be doing. Yeah. That's what we do, basically. It's a very strange night they've had.
Spring break in May.
Woo! So they do testing, and it's revealed that there actually isn't blood on the gun.
What is it?
Just some
red
schmutz.
Jell-O.
Some schmutz. It's a cherry.
We got our Jell-O shots on it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I spilled it. You know how you play with your guns when you've been doing Jell-O shots? Basically, the lead investigator here, or the prosecutor, eventually says the idea is that there is simply no evidence linking him to the scene in any manner.
Right.
They don't have any evidence that he was at this, that ex-Boyd was in this van at this point. So that's, kind of a dead end investigation wise. If he has an alibi and there's no physical evidence, they're like, okay. So they talk to Skaggs again here, and he says, quote, "They yanked me backwards out of the seat." He tells him that. Keeps telling him the same thing. Woke up at 2.
Yeah.
Julie's there. Electrical tape. Drove her in. Collapsed. Blah, blah, blah. Same story. Now, they don't know. They've never recovered any kind of weapon for the murder. Nothing like that. No DNA was found under Julie's nails.
What?
None.
Yeah.
So there's that shows that it wasn't an attack of something that she could fight off, or she would have DNA under her goddamn nails. She doesn't seem like the type that'd be like, just kill me.
Right.
She seems
going
like she's
after
fighting.
A truck, for Christ's sake. She's a fighter.
She's fighting. She's up. She's out at 11 or 10 o'clock at night looking for a truck. Like she's a go-getter, is what I'm saying. I think if you try to attack her, she's probably going to try to claw your eyes out, I would think. So nothing under there. So that kind of, like an attack that she didn't, he said she never tried to block the blows. That was his original story. That lines up with that. And Harvey's DNA is not found on her purse at all, which was I guess, messed with, rifled.
Somebody went through it. Yeah.
Or his DNA was not also found on any of the potential weapons in the van. Anything that could be used to cause blunt force trauma. There's his DNA. He never touched any of it.
And this is his car?
This is just a work van.
Oh, just
but he hasn't touched everything in the. Yeah, he wasn't working in it.
What a lazy fuck.
Let's just say, let him take one home. I ain't working.
Yeah.
Shit. Now, the blood in the van is another weird thing here. There's no indication, the prosecutor says, quote, "There was no indication, for example, that she was beaten inside the van."
Oh.
He says. He said there was blood inside the van and on the passenger seat, as said, but there was a significant amount of blood on the exterior of the van, too.
Yeah.
He said that the blood spatter proves that Julie was killed outside of the van.
Okay.
Which, again, Harvey's story is
everything happened inside.
He said last I saw, she was conscious. I went unconscious, and then who knows from the time he says he went unconscious to woke up.
Anything could happen.
There was electrical tape involved, so anything could have happened according to his story here. Right. Investigators said the blood spatter, like we said, proves outside the van. They did say, quote, "There was one bloody fingerprint on the outside of the van, which did not match Harvey and came back as inconclusive for Julie as well. Okay. And that's a bloody fingerprint. So that's not somebody who used the HVAC van earlier that day to fix somebody's shit.
But let's make sure we do point out, inconclusive does not mean not hers.
Exactly. And this is the automated fingerprint identification system guy, Paul Dorman. He says that, quote, I received some exemplar prints of the victim, and because of the quality of those prints, I was not able to make a positive identity or even be able to say that they weren't her prints. So he literally has no clue about it. It's not like we think it's her prints, but it's not up to a legal standard. I have no fucking idea about if this is her prints or not. There's no indication of anyone else's fingerprints that were tested. Only Harvey and Julie. Those are all the only ones they look for in the investigation notes. And the prosecutor says something that people want, that I would like to have everything answered. But you don't get that because people are who they are. That's very cryptic.
What the fuck?
Something that I want, that I would like to have everything answered. But you don't get that because people are who they are. They do things for strange reasons, for no reason, and for terrible reasons.
Yeah, proper Yankees.
That's like proper speaking Yankees with jerry curls.
It's confusing shit.
So everybody talks very confused. Even the town motto, it's all too wordy. You guys really need to concise it up. They have a lot of time just to
There's a lot of confusing Dr. Seuss shit happening here.
Big time.
Yeah.
So January the 4th a team of lab analysts and photographers from the state arrived to examine and document the van. This is like to really go over it with a fine-tooth comb. They take blood swabs for DNA, dusted for fingerprints. That's where they got all that collected trace evidence and everything like that. They took 12 hours with the van, basically, and they came up with all those results that we just talked about. So they contacted, once they had the van and did all this, they contacted Allen's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Yeah.
We do have your van. You might want to know that. So the company told them that they needed the van back. They said, it's a small company. We need the fucking van back to do our business. We're like losing money here.
I'm sure you are.
Can we have our van back? And they said, sure. They gave them the van back January 5th, the next day.
No.
They gave him the van back less than a week after a woman was fucking killed in it.
Holy shit.
Now, that's not good because that evidence not only,
it's all ruined
who
now.
knows, but isn't a defense going to want to look at stuff too? Like but I mean, whatever. So they give it back January 5th. I don't know what the procedure is normally, honestly, for how quickly they give a van back.
Quick.
But they say it's at the investigation's discretion, I guess, is the law, because otherwise, I mean, I assume you could hold it forever if you wanted to. It's evidence in a murder investigation. Sorry, Allen's Heating and Air Conditioning.
I would want that in a climate-controlled environment until this shit's over.
Oh, no, they're going to wipe it. They're going to clean it and then take it out. They're not going to pull up to somebody's house to fix their goddamn heat pump with blood spatter on the side.
What kind of business do you guys run?
Yeah. So about January 7th or so, Harvey proposes to his girlfriend.
Okay.
Harvey's got a girlfriend, and she accepts it. So friends told because investigators started asking questions about that because they're just looking at him. And friends said that he's been planning to propose for months. He's been talking about it, and he's been working up to it. So shortly after that, police searched their home and they took the ring he proposed with as evidence here, which was on his fiance's pinky finger at the time.
That's all it fit on.
She said, quote, "It wouldn't fit over my knuckle on my ring finger."
Okay.
So it's too small, which happens if you don't know your. If you're going to marry someone, you should know their ring size by then. That's a good idea.
Always go too big, never go too small.
Well, you don't know them well enough if you don't know things like that, maybe to get married. That's what I'm saying.
But sizing is so much easier to go from big to small. It's a little more
chop a piece out,
right?
Otherwise, they have to put some in,
right?
And
then it's somebody else's ring. It's some other piece of something.
Now, they say that the investigators say that the cut of they call it a Duchess cut, which is a cut of the diamond, and they say it's the same cut as Boyd's engagement ring.
Okay.
So they say this is one of the 3 rings missing from Julie when she arrived at the hospital.
Oh, that's not good.
She's got this. She's got a wedding band and then another ring that are all missing.
Okay.
They think that this is Julie's ring. That's what they're saying.
Wow.
They say that she had a decorative ring and a wedding band that they haven't found, but they said that this is the ring. We found it, so they arrest Harvey on January 15th, 2005. they arrest him because they saw a ring that they thought was Julie's on the ring finger, basically. So they had it was like the family thought this is what it looked like, and everybody, the cops thought it was what it looked like. So there we go. That's enough to do that. The state, obviously, or the Commonwealth in this case, their theory is that Harvey fabricated everything.
Yeah. He just wanted to get proposed.
That's it. Made up the two guys and robbed Julie and killed her because he needed the money.
Yeah.
And, thought it'd be a good idea. And then the ring was a bonus, basically, because he wanted to propose.
And said, I've wanted to propose. I need to get engaged. There it is.
There you go. That's their case. They say that their case is based on blood pattern evidence in the van, evidence that the engagement ring that he gave his fiancée was the same ring that he took off Julie's finger, obviously. And they said inconsistent stories that Harvey told the police and other people about the whole night. And the evidence, they said that Harvey was having financial problems at the time of the murder.
Couldn't afford a ring, basically.
So
this is their theory?
This is their theory now.
People murder so they can get engaged.
I mean, it is Kentucky.
It is.
I mean, that
is a crazy
That's
theory.
a lot. That's a lot. So
what if that goes bad? I killed for you.
Yeah. Well, to me, I'm just saying right off the top of my head, the truck is probably worth more than the ring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if the theory is whoever's having financial problems and, one guy needs a truck real bad and you're trying to take it, so I think that'd be an equal amount of suspicion is all I'm saying. So now the mother here, Debbie White is her name, by the way, the mother of Julie. She is, obviously wants to know what the hell's going on here because the family's kind of left in the dark for a little bit. Well, I mean, like they talk to him, but then they don't know. The police don't know what any motive or anything like that, which isn't part of proving a crime, by the way.
That's the hardest
people
part
think
of the crime,
it is.
right.
Whereas in real life, homicide cops go, I don't give a shit why he killed that one. I mean, it kind of helps to build the story, but other than that, who gives a fuck?
It's fun to sit in a room with him and keep asking him why, but he's never going to tell us.
At the end, they don't give a shit.
No.
They want to know, who and where. That's it. That why is that's just fodder for later. They don't care. But if you're a family member. No,
that's very important.
That's the most important.
That's all of it.
Why?
Yeah.
What
I already know who.
Did you do that for?
Yeah.
Exactly. So the mother here, Debbie White, Julie's mother, she says, what motivated him to brutally kill our daughter like this? For a person to do this kind of thing?
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
She's right.
Mrs. White or Ms. White. She says that her daughter was she was a good young woman and a woman of faith and all this sort of thing. So, she says, quote, I believe she's in heaven and she doesn't have to worry about this at all. And she might even be saying, Mom, it's over. Just move on.
Oh, God.
So she's saying her daughter's a very kind person and forgiving. And, this sounds awful.
That's heartbreaking.
So Harvey is arrested. His bail is set at $1 million.
Ooh.
Which he obviously can't pay. If they thought he needed to steal an engagement ring, he's probably not doing that. He sits in jail. There's 22 months between arrest and trial.
Oh my!
Which is that's a lot. It's almost 2 years.
They can do that?
Jail. Oh yeah, absolutely.
My God.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, because there's motions.
I mean, he's been charged, so they can.
Well, the defense is filing pretrial shit too, and it goes back and forth. It can go a long time.
Once you get bail, that's what happens.
Yep, 17 of the months were in solitary confinement though, because he tried to kill himself.
Because he's a dick.
Yeah, botched suicide attempt, 17 months in solitary.
Okay.
Which I would assume would make you want to kill yourself 10 times more.
Sure.
So that's fucking bad. So anyway, Harvey now says at this point, we go by his version, or we'll listen to his version right now. He says that he was threatened with the death penalty when he was first arrested. They said they're going to give him the death penalty.
Yeah.
He said over time, though, the district attorney kept making him better and better offers on a deal, which makes perfect sense because I don't know what evidence you really have here other than he said he was there.
Right.
They don't have anything else other than, he was the only one that we know was there.
Yeah.
That's really all they have. So he said that he kept saying he wouldn't admit to something that he didn't do. That was his answer all the time, according to him. Like, we don't know what the behind the scenes were. This is what he says.
Yeah.
So he said right before the trial, Harvey says, the DA, the district attorney, made him one final offer. They said admit to it and plead to an accidental murder in the act of a robbery, and we'll let you plead to it, and we'll give you 5 years. and you've served 22 months. Basically, you'll walk with time served. Whoa. You've been here almost 2. You got to do whatever. Basically, you'll get time served, which isn't really true because I think that would be a minimum of 85% of your time. Mm-hmm. So, but by the end of the trial, it kind of would be time served, I guess, if you...
And that,
either way,
to me, is a DA going to your guy saying, I don't have shit. Let's go with this.
And we don't know if that happened. Yeah. This is what Harvey says, is like I said. And he said that he wouldn't admit to a crime he didn't commit, and he's happy to go to court with it. That's Harvey's version here. So, at trial here, first of all, pre-trial, Skaggs here files a motion to get the DA, Christopher Shaw, off of the case, basically, from prosecuting him. The motion is based on the fact that Shaw's wife, Deborah, is, also an attorney, and she represented Skaggs' ex-wife, Jessica, in seeking to have custody of their daughter modified from joint to sole custody after Skaggs was charged with murder. I'm sorry. Yeah. The prosecutor can't... They can charge people with murder. Fine, charge someone with murder. But then your wife can't make money on that person's ex-wife to then try to get... That's a definite conflict of interest.
Sure.
You literally... Money came into your household because this guy got put in jail.
Right.
I get that wasn't your motivation for arresting him, but... You just don't even make it look like that. Just it's a murder trial.
Give that to the next guy.
Right? Yeah. Any this much impropriety, even if it's just a glimpse, a shadow, you don't want it to look like that in a murder trial. So a hearing is held on this thing, which seems like it should be. At the hearing, it's learned that Deborah Shaw visited Harvey at the Hardin County. This is the prosecutor's wife, visited him at the jail while he was awaiting trial to have him sign an agreed order regarding custody and visitation of his daughter. Now, Harvey says that when Shaw approached him, he thought she was somebody else. He didn't think that that's who she was, the lawyer for his wife. So he said that he, quote, told her some things regarding the case.
Oh, no.
However, when he started talking, the lawyer, Deborah, stopped him and told him who she was.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not...
Hey, my husband hates you.
Yeah, hey, well, my husband's literally job is to put you on fucking death row. They're not going for the death penalty, by the way. And told him why she was there. At that point, he presented him with the agreed order and blah, blah, blah. And he said that, they didn't discuss anything more than that. But, that's still... a lot. That's why you don't even have... It's why your wife shouldn't just ever represent, or anybody in your family. That seems a little crazy. Now, there is a statute for this. Quote, a lawyer related to another lawyer as parent, child, sibling, or spouse shall not represent a client in a representation directly adverse to a person who the lawyer knows is represented by the other lawyer, except upon consent by the client and after consultation regarding the relationship. Sure. That seems to not have happened here at all, what the law says. After hearing that, the trial court denies the motion to have this guy disqualified and said, no, you're perfectly fine to keep prosecuting. He doesn't end up being the lead prosecutor, but that doesn't matter. He's at the table. Skaggs didn't specify what information he conveyed in specific to Deborah Shaw at the jail, but he did say that the remarks that was brief because she did cut him off and say, I'm...
Don't tell me any more about that.
First of all, I'm your ex-wife's lawyer and I'm the prosecutor's wife. So, it's weird.
Welcome to Kentucky.
This is Kentucky, though. By the way, did I mention he's also my cousin?
Right.
And you are, too. Did I mention that? We're all related. Hey, ding, ding. Diddle,
no more Thanksgiving for us.
Sorry, Kentucky, but this is some crazy shit. It's not all of you, just what's happening here. So, anyway, Harvey wants a missing evidence instruction. Okay, that's what he's asking the judge to do here. He moves to exclude the evidence regarding the van because the evidence has been essentially destroyed by giving the van back to the AC company before the defense had an opportunity to conduct their own independent examination of the van. All they have is the records from the police investigation.
Solid point.
An evidentiary hearing is held on this motion. All of this goes, and they say, no, we're not doing that. They deny that order as well. They said there was no bad faith on the part of the police in giving the van back. They're just trying to have a company not go out of business because they needed a van. That's the way it goes. So at the hearing here, The detective, he says that the property is returned to an owner on a case-by-case basis, and they said that they were finished with the van and they didn't want to hurt this company anymore. It's a small town. I don't want to hurt this guy's company. So, no, quote, there was no evidence of any intention on the part of the police to deprive the defendant of an opportunity to examine the van. That's what the judge says. So they deny that. Now, the jury here also, they talk about basically the Commonwealth here, the state files a motion requesting that the jury be allowed to go on field trips to view shit here, like in the OJ case, which
be fun.
I always find that a trip when the jury's like on a field trip.
They're just in it.
Yeah. I'm going to OJ's house today. It's just the weirdest thing. So they file a motion here to go see the van that he was driving, even though it's 2 years later and it's done 100 AC jobs since then.
Right. There's some guy changing out a train right now with it.
Yeah.
And we're going to go look at that guy.
It's in the shop. But you can see it. They argued that the pictures of the van would not be an adequate substitute for seeing the van in person. So you could get the actual dimensions, where the doors are, how much room people have, which that makes sense. It's actually a good point. And the initial order allowed the viewing of the sites in the case, the hospital parking garage, hospital ER entrance, and the parking lot of the Jerry Mart. But they said that at first they said they didn't know about the van, and then they said, okay, sure, the van. So that's what they did. At first they what's it called? Reserved judgment on the van for another time here. They said that it's necessary for the jury to see inside of the van in person to appreciate its dimensions and determining whether Boyd could have been killed in the manner alleged by Skaggs. The defense said that because the van had been cleaned up and used for heating and AC work for 2 years, it was materially altered from its condition on the night of the murder, as far as where things are, all that shit. They said that the court ruled that so long as everything was removed from the van except built-in features, it would allow the jury to view the van for the purpose of seeing its dimensions. But there was stuff in the van that night, which is weird. The court also told the jury, quote, the van is not in the same condition that it's been described in this case. That's all they did there. So that's what it was. They said that this is at the discretion of the court. That's basically what it is. It's a discretion call. So Edward Taylor, who's a forensic specialist for the state here, he testifies to the blood spatter patterns found on the van. One of his conclusions was, and this is critical to the state's whole theory of the case, that Julie was obviously killed on the outside of the van, given the configuration and dimensions of the inside of the van. Right. So it would have been harder. The blood patterns were not consistent with a person being beaten to death inside the van. He says that if a person had been struck with a weapon in the van, there would have been more cast-off blood spatter patterns on various areas inside the van.
A couple of dents in the roof from the bringing it back.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage here.
You ever tried to swing anything in a van?
I haven't spent much time in a van.
That's why you haven't.
I'd be crouched down, I have a feeling, because it's about, 4 foot
you would
one
hit
in a van?
The fucking roof.
Yeah, I would think so. So they said from viewing the photographs of the van, it was difficult to figure out the dimensions, and so, they sent them there.
I'm trying to figure out how a guy with that's right-handed punches a woman in the passenger seat in the face.
I guess, if you were behind the driver, you could...
That's still not easy.
It's not a great angle,
no.
I'll tell you that much. You'd be much better off with a left.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what's going on here?
It's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, that part's... There's a lot of inconsistencies to Harvey's story here that aren't,
None of it adds up.
If you get choked into unconsciousness... I want pretty good ligature marks around your fucking neck if I'm going to believe
bruise.
that. So the ring becomes a huge point of contention, and this is the thing that makes me a little uneasy here. During the trial, both sides present experts here that give completely different testimonies, saying that it was this ring. Now, both White, who is the mother, Julie's mother, and Julie's husband say it was her engagement ring, taking a look at it. Harvey says, no, it's not. I fucking bought it at a pawn shop. That's where I got this goddamn ring. Now, one thing here, they said that the night he brought... this is a fact. The night he brought her to the hospital, he definitely did not have the ring on him because they searched him thoroughly, and he had no fucking ring on him. So I don't know if he stashed it somewhere in their theory or what. Now They said, quote, this is the prosecutor, quote, "We don't know exactly what happened to Julie Boyd because no one was there to witness it. They said that her wedding band and other decorative ring have never been found, but this is her ring." Now, the defense has a guy. This is Fred the Diamond Guy.
All right.
Is his name.
Yeah.
Fred Cueller, Cueller. He's a legit diamond expert. He's on, news shows all the time if they have anything like that. He's the guy they go to. He's a diamond guy. He's the founder and president of Diamond Cutters International.
Oh, boy.
According to the website, one of the world's top diamond experts, as well as a 3-time Guinness Book record holder in jewelry design. Does appearances on news shows. Knows his diamond shit, basically. Yeah. He's known throughout the industry as Fred the Diamond Guy. Okay. Now, the defense calls him to testify for them.
Yeah.
So he goes down there. First of all, this guy in Kentucky would have been great.
I'm sure he's a character.
He's walking down the street. Hey,
you
looking to get a bigger diamond? Give you a good price.
It's a little chip you got there.
Just walking up to people with a loop. That's fake. Get the fuck out of here. Sends them on their way.
Were the guys from Pawn Stars busy? Is that what happened?
No, walking around. It's a fugazi. Get the fuck out of here. So he, anyway. This guy, he says that, quote, "As a diamond expert, my task was to educate the jury about a mass-produced diamond called the Duchess cut." The prosecutor said it was a rare cut, and he says it's far from rare. Yeah, he says it's mass-produced. That's how much it's not rare.
Right.
He said it was sold heavily in the 1990s so at rare places like J.C. Penney. Exotic places like service merchandise. Very exotic. The exoticness of service merchandise. K Jeweler. Once again, very exotic, exclusive. Zales.
Yeah.
All of your better mall jewelry outlets, basically. Anything that's in a mall.
It's so rare.
And J.B. Robinson, which was
East Coast. Yeah.
Just a fucking like a department store, right. like a Penny's or something. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So those places. So
it's now Macy's.
It's a nice diamond that you can get in the mall.
Right.
Yeah.
He bought a Macy's diamond.
When you're 21,
and it's so rare.
Yeah. When you're 20, you're 21. You're not buying some rare ring for your fiance because you're only going to be able to afford the nicest thing you can get.
Right.
And that's fine. So the prosecutor, he says that their whole case is that Harvey killed Julie in order to obtain what he called a rare 0.42 carat modified Marquise-shaped diamond solitaire. Now, Diamond Guy says the ring's about $400 it sells for in the store.
Yeah.
It's not rare.
Right.
It's in the mall, and it's $400.
There's a shitload of them.
Literally, it's not. It's very acquirable. Like it's a thing. Also, he says that he examined this diamond and he said this diamond didn't weigh the same. Julie's diamond didn't weigh the same amount, judging by the receipt that the ex-husband has about the ring. He says that that's not the same diamond. This diamond didn't weigh as much as the one that Harvey's girlfriend had.
This is a lighter one,
which is heavier. Yeah. So, that's a pretty big difference. Also, they said there was no way that they could prove they were the same ring. He says the original receipt of Julie's ring showed it had been purchased from a store named Leroy's Jeweler, while the ring in evidence had a fucking stamp on it that said it was sold by J.B. Robinson on the inside of it. So
unbelievable.
Totally different place than the receipt. Yeah. So Harvey, now we don't know. I don't know if Leroy's Jeweler sells secondhand shit and somebody sold a J.B. Robinson ring and that guy bought. That's possible.
And the other part is that, and not to fault anybody that says that it is the ring. Have you ever looked at a 0.28 versus a 0.38?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. You'd have to get a guy who calls himself a diamond guy and to measure it because I don't know shit about that.
1/10 of a carat? I can't fucking tell.
Who can?
No.
Who could?
Real Desperate Housewives of whatever fucking city, those people.
They know. They know exactly. By the eyeball. They get a loop out.
Right.
What's that? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Giselle from the Potomac.
Mine's bigger.
Let me see that. Hold on a second. I think you're full of shit. So I'm going to call you on your shit here.
That's a 2.8, not a 3.2.
Listen, then there'd be the talking head of her going, she's trying to pull off that bullshit with some diamonds talking about it's 3 carats when I know it's 2.7. I'm not. I know that shit. So I love that show.
It's unbelievable.
That's fucking great. So anyway, Harvey says that he bought the engagement ring from a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Now, the pawn shop says they remember Harvey in the store around that time buying something, but they don't give out receipts for cash purchases. So bought it with cash. They don't have a receipt, but he wasn't there at that point buying something. Is what the
We're trying
what
to
the
not
pawn
pay
shop
taxes
said.
on this shit.
Yeah, basically, let's keep it a little willy-nilly.
Right, yeah.
200, let's say 100 on the taxes, why don't we? So he is charged, by the way, going to the verdict here, with murder and first-degree robbery.
Oh, boy.
For the ring.
Yeah.
Now, these together, pretty big shit here. Verdict comes back, and they find him guilty of murder and first-degree robbery.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how you'd find him guilty of the first-degree robbery based on the Diamond testimony.
Right.
And
they only threw the robbery in as an aggravator on the murder, right? To try to get the death penalty?
If he stole the ring,
right.
Also, no, just more years, but I mean, it runs concurrent either way.
But if they know for sure that shit didn't get stolen from there because it's a different goddamn ring.
But the prosecution insists that it's the same ring.
Oh, boy.
Even though the one guy says, I weighed it and it's not even the same size diamond. Anyway, so that guy says that's absolutely not the same fucking diamond. Now, October 2006, sentencing comes around.
Yeah.
And, they said this is Julie's mother, Ms. White here. She says that, quote, you do want to tell them who she was, talking about when she had to testify at the sentencing. Let me tell you who she was. She was a beautiful, vibrant woman. So she got to say her say, which is good. Now, the jury could have elected any sentence ranging from 20 to 50 years in prison to life without parole, basically. So, there's a big window here in what they can sentence him to. He is sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off, life in prison.
No parole.
With no parole for 25 years.
Okay.
25 years. Also, fuck off again, 20 years for robbery for stealing the ring. Concurrent. Okay. No, that's the law.
So he's got 25 to life.
25 to life, and there's that. So Julie's mom, Ms. White, said, quote, I would have liked to have seen life without parole. She says that it's been extremely difficult. The times we did look at him, he didn't have much reaction, and that's hard to take when someone's sitting there with literally no emotion at all. Yeah. Which, I mean, I can imagine that, but also the lawyers tell them to, you ever seen OJ? Yeah, here's a fucking halcyon, sit there. Right. They'll give you something strong and tell you to chill out.
Don't say shit, don't move.
Yeah, don't do anything. So, but I mean, as a family member, that's frustrating, I would imagine. So, Debbie says that she was, quote, she was beaten in such a brutal, violent way for this ring. I have a problem with that. We don't know what happened to Julie. We don't know where she was killed, and we don't have the murder weapon. Julie's dad, Bill White, says that the conviction brings little comfort, not much. He said there's no closure at all, and actually, as time goes on, the hurt only gets deeper.
Yeah.
Which few people ever say that, and that's true for a lot of people, and few people, I think, ever admit that. They all have to say, well, I mean, it gets better.
You start thinking about...
This guy's like, it doesn't get better.
Where
it
would
sucks.
she be today?
Yeah.
And it's so much worse.
It sucks, working some IT and probably doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Debbie got a chance to address, she'll also get a chance to talk in the formal sentencing when the judge decides whether the jury's out of their mind or whether the judge just goes along with this, with the jury's recommendation here. She said that she wants to hear why it happened from him and, quote, an acknowledgement of, yes, I did do this and I'm sorry. That's what the mother would like here. Now, she starts a thing based on this. It's a pretty cool thing. It's called Julie's Baskets. And she said that this is Debbie White. She says that, quote, the first day the police came to the door, I just remember looking out the back of the window and thinking, God, don't let me waste this. She said she remembers her daughter's memorial and people lining up to give their condolences. She said, quote, I just need someone to come up and tell me that I can survive this, that I can live through this. And that's one of the many reasons why I do this workshop. And she also does a workshop that she says she's dedicated her life to teaching those going through the worst days that they'll survive and thrive. She's trying to help people get through horrible, traumatic situations. She said there's so much loss and so many people that are looking for help. And it started One Grief. It started out as One Grief Workshop with Southeast Christian Church and turned into 2 and then 3 a year. And she said now she's been holding them for 14 years. She said this was as of like last year. Yeah. She said they give the tragedy that we went through a purpose and a reason, and I believe it does help those who are grieving. She said that she'll keep Julie's memory alive by continuing Julie's Baskets, which are care packages to help out women going through hard divorces.
Oh, that's rad.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really awesome, people. That's
Hey,
helpful.
what about the guys doing it too? Help me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes that go through it too that have it pretty rough.
Yeah. They're not,
but listen,
they're not scared.
I get
it.
Yeah,
that's all
they're
it
not
is.
Scared for their life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes that are like,
can I get some like noodles?
I'd like to eat.
And Netflix this month. Better air mattress.
Yeah.
So she said, well, many women have found help here. This is the Julie's Basket program, it's called. The baskets are available to any women in the community who are in need. They said you can find out about them by calling a person named Diane Doyle at the Southeast Christian Church.
Yep.
253-8400. I don't know what the area code is. I think I gave the area code earlier.
You did.
There you go.
I'm going to call
Put
them
those
and
together.
send them money to send some baskets out.
They're still doing that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's a good cause to donate to. It sounds like. I wish it wasn't in a church, but
same.
I do like it behind it. I don't think they're giving away Bibles. I think it's just good shit and the nice works. This is the type of shit you want church to do. That's the thing.
But if they start slipping some fucking pamphlets in there, then we get some problems.
Then you got problems.
That's going to be my first call.
Yes, this is what you want
ship out
churches
the baskets?
to do.
Yeah? Are there pamphlets?
Good.
No, here's money.
Good. All right, great. There you go. Exactly. Here's a check.
Send one in my name.
Yeah. Don't send a Jesus basket in my name, though. Send your name, fine, but not mine.
Go nuts.
One reason I wanted to do that and chose to do that was because it was Julie's idea. This basket thing. Julie was going through a divorce before she died, he said, and the baskets could be a way to help other women.
Very nice.
She was thinking about other people. She also says to be able to give them something, to give them comfort right away, to give them direction was really positive. So that's nice.
Yeah.
They also worked toward a law change. Oh. Basically, the law there was, it says several people were allowed to testify during sentencing on his behalf for mitigating circumstances. Sure. But only Debbie White was allowed to testify on behalf of her daughter because Kentucky law allowed only the victim to testify on behalf of the prosecution in this sort of situation. So she worked closely with a state senator there to get the law changed to allow family of the victim to testify as well. Now, the governor signed it into law. They said with the trial, it was a state senator.
Oh, okay.
With the trial of our daughter, you try to make something good come out of something bad, and it was really hard to have a trial for the murder of your daughter and then not be allowed to have family members speak on their behalf. Which, that's true. But that's true. I mean, I get that. At the sentencing, it's hard though. I don't know, law-wise, it seems like the jury are regular people.
Yeah.
So it's hard emotionally for them to give sentences and then to add more emotion to them. It's hard, I think. But I can understand the family would definitely want to be able to speak their piece. So I totally get it, and I think it's probably a good idea. Now, on appeals, obviously he appeals. He says that Skaggs was prejudiced and given and denied due process by the court's failure to exclude the evidence or give a missing evidence instruction regarding the van. Like, hey, he didn't get to fucking look it over. Right. They said that, it's.
There are so many problems with this. This is going to be bad.
He said that there's, all this shit. Second, the due process clause is implicated only when the failure to preserve or collect the missing evidence was intentional. That's the law, though.
It's only when it's intentional.
Yeah, if it's an accident, you can fuck yourself. And, and tough luck on your part. Enjoy prison. That's literally the law. So
that's a fucked law.
Yeah, it says it means that the absent of some degree of, quote, bad faith is basically then the defendant is not entitled to anything, even a jury instruction.
How do you prove that?
Exactly.
That's
like
brutal.
They intentionally did. We're going to keep that van. Like they'd have to literally have a guy on camera saying that.
Right.
So, or we're going to give it back so you can't look at it, which is crazy.
Send it to the car wash.
Yeah. We're going to put it through. No, I want to just drive it.
Roll the windows down. Go.
I ain't doing it by hand. So also the prosecutor, he appeals on the fact that he said the prosecutor shouldn't have been prosecuting this case because his goddamn wife is representing my fucking ex-wife and I blurted shit out to her and it's just too much. It's conflict of interest. She was called, as a matter of fact, the prosecutors. Oh, I'm sorry. Harvey's ex-wife, Jessica, was called by the Commonwealth as a witness of the case here. And, but just to kind of show that she was married to him and try to establish something here. Anyway, so also the circumstantial evidence instruction that he said they didn't get. His argument is that the trial court's refusal to instruct the jury on circumstantial evidence denied him due process of law. He says that he requested the following instruction. No defendant may be convicted on circumstantial evidence if the circumstantial evidence is as consistent with innocence as it is with guilt. Basically, which that's another way of saying beyond, reasonable doubt, I feel like. But they objected, and the trial court ruled that basically we're not going to do that. So they affirm the decision. Yeah. And that's 2 appeals, and he's in prison still. To this day, he continues to claim his innocence.
Really?
Yeah, from jail, from prison. He says, quote, I did not kill her.
Yeah.
I did not kill her. No, I'm not going to do it.
I did not kill her, I am sure.
Oh, my God. They didn't want to look at anybody else. They didn't care about anybody else.
Yeah.
And then the mother, though, Ms. White here, Julie's mom, said, I don't know that the justice system always investigates everything as thoroughly as they could. She said there was things that were never found out about the death, and there's, quote, always been questions on exactly what happened, in her mind even.
Sure.
Another weird thing here, this is very odd. In Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay.
The video game?
The video game.
The cowboy game.
The cowboy game.
What?
There's a character in it called Harvey Skaggs.
Oh, my God. Okay? That's right.
Harvey's seen during the mission Justice in Pike's Basin, which he is among the ranchers being held captive by the Bollard Twins gang, along with Marshal Lee Johnson and his deputies.
Yes.
John Marston and everybody are able to rescue their captives and their stolen cattle. Now, I want to show you something, Jimmy.
All right, hold on.
Please come over here and look at the screen. That is Harvey's mugshot, Harvey Skaggs in prison, okay? Actually, our Harvey. The show's
that's our
episode 220 Harvey, okay?
He has very kind eyes.
I'm going to show you the character in
From Red Dead. Yeah. Holy shit, you have to be kidding. It's him. It's for sure him, right? Who makes this? Go back. Who made the game?
Rockstar.
Yeah, but who? Rockstar didn't make it. Somebody at Rockstar
had to program something,
right?
But I guess they use this head is on several different characters.
I'm sure it is.
But I mean, it looks like him.
Yeah, that's fucking him.
I mean, the eyes,
the mustache,
the
everything.
face, everything. Even the face he's making. It's wild. It's crazy. So I don't know.
Wow, they should just put the fucking prison number in front of his chest.
Why not?
Certainly him.
What's going on here? So Harvey here is still, he's in prison, and we have one more little thing I got to talk about here with the Diamond guy is going to come back here.
Oh no!
So
does he have a video game too?
He's got it's Fred's Diamond Hunt, where you guess between a 0.4 and a 0.42 carat ring. So he's an active inmate at this point. Here he is. DOC number 204972, Harvey is. Life without parole after 25 years. Is a medium security right now, or medium classification, I should say. I'm sure it's maximum security. Southeastern State Correctional Complex. Is at this point 47 years old, and I guess his earliest parole eligibility date is January 5th, 2030.
Okay.
So there's that going on for Harvey.
That's not going to happen, right?
I
can't see it.
Once he's convicted, I feel like he's done down there no matter what. So Fred the Diamond guy.
Yeah.
This is his statement. He put something out like last year on his site, the Diamond Cutters International site, from him saying that Harvey is innocent and this is ridiculous. He's like, if their whole case is the ring, it's not the same ring. Like, it's not a matter of, no, he's like, I know it's not the same ring, so this is bullshit if that's the case. He says, this is a quote from his website, quote, you see, Harvey believed in his country. Oh boy. This is a little much there, Fred. He believed in the justice system. If my country sends me to war, it must be a just war. If a man gets accused of doing something he did not do, he gets his day in court. An innocent man has nothing to worry about.
Oh, boy.
And then he says that, he was sentenced there. He said that he was sentenced to all this time for a ring that they couldn't prove belonged to Julie. He says Harvey will be 77 years old before he'll be let out of prison, which I don't think that's true. That's if he did the maximum.
Right, if he does all
of it, which I don't think so. He says, quote, he could have been free if he told one lie. He couldn't do it. It wasn't in his character. Now he might spend the rest of his life defending the truth.
Oh, if he would have just said, I did it?
Yeah.
Took the 5 years?
Took the 5 years that he said he...
But we don't even know that's true.
We don't know that that's true. He said, every year, 10,000 people are convicted of crimes they did not commit. Harvey's is just another one to add to the list. Would you give up your life for the truth? How many Harveys is it going to take before we realize the system is broken? Oh, boy. It's a little much now. Somewhere in between is
He's going hard.
Yeah. So let's give Julie's mom another notice here.
What is Julie?
Sort of her have the cherry
Miss
on
White,
top.
did you hear about this?
I just feel like, well, I can't let that be the last statement. So she says, and we're not even going to talk about guilt, innocence, any of that shit. She just says that she feels like she's created a lot of good from a horrible situation. And she says, one of our fears is that people will forget our children. And so I don't want anyone to ever forget who she was. Yeah. Which is great. She has the grief recovery workshop as well. 9-week video-based class that incorporates group discussion, recovery hints, and light homework to help people find ways to cope with grief. Okay. She's doing that. If you're grieving the loss of a loved one and you feel like no one understands what you're going through and you don't know how you're going to navigate this grief, the class will help you find a way to channel your grief. That's what she says. She says, you think nobody else is going through what you're going through. Nobody else is feeling the same thing or suffering the way you are. When you get in the group and hear other people share their stories, all of a sudden you realize you're not going crazy and that this is normal.
Yeah.
Which this seems like a really cool thing she's doing here.
Isn't it wild when you get like-minded people together and you all start commiserating on, holy shit, you hate that too?
Isn't that crazy? She said that some people thought that, she said she thought maybe closure would come, but she says, quote, I hate the word closure. Yeah. There is no closure. After the trial, people were like, you won, but I didn't win anything. How can you win? Your daughter's gone. Right. Yeah, I don't know what difference does that make. Well, my great-grandmother got murdered, and they were like, well, she pled guilty, and now I was like, so what? Yeah. I don't care if she jumped off a bridge or fucking ran free. It doesn't matter. She's dead now. Unless this person's going to go kill more members of my fucking family. My interest is fucking waned on the whole situation. I don't care anymore. I'm not in this for, I don't get to do anything to this person, so what do I care? Anyway, she said that they have to want to get better and have to believe they can get better, and then they can get better. She said the loss of a loved one never goes away, although you'll not be completely recovered after the 9-week class, and it feels like you can never be normal or happy again. You can expect to have the tools to walk through the grieving process and gain confidence that you can have joy again.
Tremendous.
So, yes, good for her for doing that, and I don't know if that guy's guilty or not.
I can't tell.
I have no fucking idea.
From that evidence.
Put it this way. It's kind of like Stephen Avery, where you're like, think he did it, but don't think they proved it. Right. That's kind of one of those things. I don't see what there's literally
nobody else that was there that night. There's no evidence of anybody there that night.
There's no evidence of him doing it either, though. Yeah. That's the thing. So it's like there's no DNA under her fingernails. Right. There's none of that. Did he sneak attack her? And it's
I need Rav 4 keys in his pocket. I need more.
He was there.
Yeah. He
obviously.
Was there.
And he's the only one who we know is there. Yeah. So you think, okay, he's definitely a suspect. Now.
He's the only one there, and his story doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's true, too. But do I believe automatically that the ex-husband's fucking new girlfriend and him did Jello? Who knows? She might be lie for it. We don't know. You lie for your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Maybe not after 15 years. Maybe she'd have come out and said, actually, he did it once they got mad at each other. But
we weren't drinking Jello shots.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know if maybe someone is looking for this. We don't know anything with this case, so it's really hard to convict somebody here. But
I mean, she's the only person that documented that has any sort of animosity to her would be her ex-husband, and he's busy doing Jello shots with his new girlfriend. He couldn't be happier.
Yeah, but why?
It's got to be him.
But then again, getting whatever he gets paid for the repo is probably worth more than a used ring from a fucking mall.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, why do you just take that money and buy a ring from the pawn shop then?
Maybe he heard something where he thinks she's worth more.
Right? But the thing, I believe the diamond guy that's not the ring.
Yeah,
it's not the fucking ring, period. And I don't think this guy's sophisticated enough. He's going to take the ring, stash it somewhere, not in the van, though, because they searched the van. Yeah. So he's going to stash it in the fucking parking lot of the Jerry Mart and then take her in the hospital, do all this, and then go get the ring later and propose. I just don't see that from a Skaggs.
Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever said, I'm going to have to kill somebody for a ring for her. I mean, $400 ring.
It's happened, but not in this situation. Yeah, on the street, people have done it where, like, I'm going to rob something or whatever. People are like robbing for a living.
Right.
But someone with no criminal record has rarely killed someone that everyone knows that they're with for a $400 ring.
That's a crazy thought.
That's a crazy thought. So I'm not sure what happened. Either way, I feel terrible for the White family that they had to go through all that shit. That is awful, and fucking Julie obviously didn't deserve any of that shit. Ring, no ring, ex-husband, husband, whatever, and that really sucks. But that is our story, everybody.
What a tale.
That is Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and all of the mess that it brings there. So if you like that story or have any opinions on what you think of guilt or innocence or whatever the fuck, maybe you have an idea of something we're not thinking of.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. You should do all of that. First, though, give us a review on Apple Podcasts. That purple icon, it helps a lot. We don't know why. Give us 5 stars and say some shit that we don't care about.
Yeah.
Say, what size diamond you think it is. Doesn't matter. Just
take a wild-ass guess.
0.35 carats. We'll understand what you're talking about. So, thank you, though, for doing that. That really does help a lot. We don't know why, but it drives you up the charts. Also, you should head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now and get your tickets for the Crime and Sports virtual live show on May the 6th, and it'll be available for 72 hours after that.
Right.
We are going to throw down hard on that shit.
I'm looking forward to it.
We got a cool studio that's we made just specifically for this.
Yeah. And my own ring light.
It's cool, man. Where do you see? Oh, you have no idea. Where do you see the banner we have?
Yeah.
Oh, we made a banner. We made these mic.
Oh, terrific.
Sarah's been going crazy for all the aesthetics here. As you know, she's the one who makes it look awesome every time.
Some visuals. She's good at it.
And this is going to be cool as shit. So do that. Shutupandgivememurder.com right now for tickets. Also, get your tickets for all the live shows that are being rescheduled right now and lining up. And most of them are kind of set in stone, I think, now. We're going to be cruising here.
Pretty well done.
Pretty well done.
I mean, we've got a few to get going still on the schedule.
Yeah.
So if you see something that isn't on there at the moment,
patience.
Give it time.
Patience. I think
we're doing our best.
We locked down Dallas or something. I think Texas. There's like
still
one
shuffling.
or 2 dates. But
Cleveland might
be
gone. We're not sure yet.
Cleveland is gone.
It is done.
Yeah.
Madison is gone. Correct.
Yes, Madison. And
we
like
have
I said,
to.
scheduling. We can't. There was no way to do a thing after a thing. It's
impossible.
It isn't. Sorry.
We're doing our best. Get to the ones that are close to you.
And the shows that if we had to cancel something, we tried to cancel if it had another show that was within a couple hours of a drive. Not that everybody wants to drive 2 hours, but
I don't want to make you drive.
Give you an option.
Look, I'm flying.
Yeah,
you could drive.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go through an airport.
Yes,
you're going to get in your car.
Cleveland to Pittsburgh is not a. We took that drive. Right. It's not a terrible drive. No. So no, we didn't take that drive.
No, we went Pittsburgh to Philly. That's a terrible drive.
I've taken that. But
we're going to do both of those.
Yeah, we are. Oh, that's a bad one. Oh, that Pittsburgh to Philly is hell on earth.
Oh my God!
Jimmy had to make 5 bathroom stops for eating rotten Church's chicken.
No, Popeyes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you, gas stations.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, probably don't eat fried chicken from a gas station. I think maybe that one's on you. Either way, though.
That's me thinking I'm 24.
Yep. Get tickets to these live shows, and you can hear all these crazy-ass stories as we complain about them on the road while we're there and all, even more. Shutupandgivememurder.com right now. Get all your merchandise. You get everything there. All sorts of T-shirts and cool shit are up right there. Get everything. Also, follow us on social media so you'll know when these things happen.
Yeah.
We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, and Patreon especially. Patreon is good shit. We throw down hard on Patreon, just like on these live shows. Yes. Anytime anybody's giving us money for something, wow, do we feel obligated to really hit it hard.
I owe you.
We do. And absolutely, you can check out patreon.com/crime and sports. The last one we just did, which obviously you'll have access to those episodes and every other one in our back catalog of Patreon episodes. We did our favorite and least favorite sports movies, where we talked a lot of shit about bad movies for the most part. And then we did a whole episode on reviews of prisons and jails, which are absolutely hilarious and vary more than you would imagine is the other thing.
It's pretty wild.
There's
very broad. Plenty of reasons.
You'd expect the same one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Plenty of reasons to hate jail.
Totally. From every perspective. So we get to hear it all. Check all that out. It's patreon.com/crime and sports for everything like that. And you'll also be a producer at that point. A wonderful, wonderful producer. And we think you're so amazing that Jimmy will read your name off and probably fuck it up, but he'll try hard.
That's the way I know.
He'll try. And you'll be that appreciated that we'll have to say your name at the end of the show because we need to.
Yeah.
We need to. So you can do that. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Or if you just want to be a good person with good karma and be a producer and have your name mispronounced and all that fun stuff, you can do that over at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. That said, this is a crazy episode. I need, Jimmy, hit me with the names of the people who would never give me a ring that didn't match the carrot type of the person that you murdered. Jimmy, hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Hoot Mama.
Hey.
I don't know. She bought a new house with a better T-bowl to B-hole ratio.
Fuck yeah.
She's jacked.
Work
Good
those
for you.
B-holes on them T-bowls.
Jessica Christensen, of course, Jordan Bennett, Rish Bir Jeet Kaur Singh Tarico. That's somebody. That's a person.
Oh, wow. That's a name. It's quite the handle.
Chrissy Ann Castaldi, of course. Jennifer Baird, Jake and Kim Moore, Caitlin Fox, and Kelsey Dexter. Thank you guys so much. Truly, you're everything.
Amazing.
Other producers this week are Monica's friend Dustin, and he lost his pup Spike. So I'm terribly sorry, Dustin. Hang in there, buddy. It gets worse. Cheyenne Wright had a birthday. Happy birthday. Peyton Meadows, Carl Kirshner, James Martyr, Liz Vasquez. Thanks, Liz, for being around for so fucking long and sending birthday gifts. And you're amazing. Thanks, Liz. Appreciate it. Samantha Tooley, Julianne Beth Pinkerton, custom color by Mo, Charlene Yin, Nels and Harriet Olsen, Rabbi Shmulovich, Bad Billy Pratt.
All right, there we go. Some overboard happening there.
I read it and had to stop because I was giggling so hard. Erica Geisler, Steve Schnell, of course. Steve sent he sent us some chocolate cakes.
Oh,
the ring dings.
Oh, yeah, I ate those ring dings.
Thank you so much.
My daughter. Thank you.
You're the best, Steve. Yeah. Melody and Holly Hoffman, Lisa Coltrane, and Lisa is fucking. She goes to bat for us. So thank you, Lisa, for everything.
Thank you, everybody.
Truly. Jennifer Visconti, David Beers, Christine Leischel, Ashley and Corey Baraclof, Jennifer Stevens, Carissa Blanche, DJ Jellyfish. That's Daniel Solis, but I love DJ Jellyfish. That's a great name. Good work, bud. Yeah. Daniel Solis, I said that. Emmy Dumont, happy birthday. Monica Hernandez, Janice Hill, Carly Hetherington, Kimberly Henley, Vanya Vinter, Amanda Burke, Jen Peak, Allison Morris, Bill McClellan, Candace Roop, Ashley Vio, Amy Conley was 3 weeks in the hospital, and the audience helped her get through it. So,
hope you're recovering.
Because this audience is fucking amazing. Amy, hang in there. Jude Kendall, John Lawson, Siren Head, yes, Christopher Kreitz, Belinda Gray, Heather Carroll, Danielle Sherb, Allie Henley, Palmer Owens, Tracy Valencourt, Aaron Murray, Meredith Graves, Eduardo Santana, Andrea Quarengi, Sylvia Concha said that. Brian Gilbert, Justin with no last name, Shelby Rose, Marcy Bush, Colleen Lambert, Jerry Lee, Jameson, Quinn Riley, Monica, Koluzny, Kennedy, no one took me for a ride, Kennedy Barozzi, Kayla Ann, Heather Adley, Brandy Mendoza, Carrie Wilhelm, Chase Scott, Jamie Levesque, Art the Maritime Negro. What? I guess Art Sales. It's the funniest fucking thing. Josh Nichols, Sierra Marks.
You better be black too, Art. Let me tell you something. If you're a white guy who put that down, that's not cool.
Alicia Raymond Austin, Lisa Rucky, Steph Kissoon, Sean Smith, Valerie Little, Ruben Franco, Lori Pierce, Danella Barker, Kurt Eckert, Marcy Goodfellow, Todd Cooper, Samantha Warren, Alan Cable, Susan Boder, Candace Bruce, Valerie Church, Amber Miller, Dan with no last name, Dylan Betts, Jason Blue, Natalie Reeds, Ann Duchess, Fern Berry, Jamie Boyd, Annabelle Lexian, shit. Will Mazingo, Jenna Benjamin, Mike Abler, Derek with no last name, John Maynard, Carla Hansen, Kristen Campbell, Kai with no last name, Cassie Harlow, Luis Maldonado, Lauren Magner, and Neil McEachern, Savannah Fox, Kelly Seltman, what did I do? No, Otto Miso, Kelly Seltman, Kenny Fisher, Abby Lee, Mike Elias, Marcel Destine. I was doing so great. Jeff Irvine, Anna Ilker, Lori Rustovan, Jaden Cooper, Tara Camilli, Alma Monarez, Jesus, Alex Capel, damn it, Kate Dunlay, Rhonda Shuh, Vanessa Britacia, what? Dope Hippie Turnbull, Glenn Hamilton, Lucy Fry, Kylie Stad, Jesse Bones, Sam Hatch, Audrey Wise, Joe Vanden Enden, Ty Huffman, Lucas Guy, Kim Martini, Steven with no last name, Rachel Gustafson, Ben Hudnall, Emily Perea, Ashley Culpepper, Elena Jennings, Darla Bagan, John, Cornea, Haley Sparks, Jennifer Jacopek, Michael West, Casey Doer, Caitlin Smith, Cindy Torvik, John McRoberts, Bill Jenkins, Memphis Roscoe, Zach Perez, Jesse Medler, Stella with no last name, Camilla Jones, Tiffany Cook, Alfonso Tyler, Caleb Reeves, Michelle Siebert, Turd Ferguson,
of course,
Chloe Kraft, Shabor, Jason O-Ring, Hannah W., Michael Kuling, Marshall Rurda, Sherry MacArthur, Derek Baker, Joseph Bondi, Anna with no last name, Joe DeGroat, Mitch Collard, Willie J., Brad Gledhill, Constance Johnson, Christy May, Thomas Evans, Tony Peacock, Rory Daly, Lindsay Schaefer, Caroline with no last name, Alex and Orchard, Mark Sargent.
I'm going to start just giving people last names that have no last name. I'm just going to assign one when you say it. I'm just going to shout Robinson. Shout it out.
Tim Zalesi, Kelly Gaspard, Shays 6, Jennifer Bartz, Kayla Dunstan, Scott Sawatsky, Sean Duggan, Dakota Smith, Ashley Hernandez, Devin Franklin, Jerica Kunkel, Lindsay Kane, Keaton O'Neill, Marquise, nope, that's Karen.
Whoa, that's way different.
Megan Dalquist, Courtney Lowe, Jacob Feipel, Amanda Weckerly, Kenny Heislip, James Stockham, Nicole, oh boy, Crewanu Nick.
Yeah, it's probably close.
Lolo Brinkham, McGillicuddy, Jaron Schmaltz, Amanda Dunn, and Austin Gilman.
Hey.
Emily Young, Ray Thomas, David, with whose last name?
Rubenstein.
There it is. Andrew Miso, Derek Baker, Tyler Blevins, Simon Baylor, Madison Barton, oh Jesus, Demetrius Brooks, Sydney Baskind, James Bardsley, Holiday Jeremiason, no, it's not right. Nico Usuzin.
Yeah.
Ryan Bardwell, Sean Phillips, Rachel Melise, Beth Bryant, nope, that's Ben Wilson, Diane Quagg, Jose Sanchez, Kira, and her last name is
Baracus.
Clark Smith, Kelly Clinker, Hannah Schreier, Jeremy Fries, Jason Williams, Donna Salmon, Emily Graper, Kirsten Chase, Cassidy with the last name of
Fox,
Rose Stoslizovich, Tom has a sweet last name,
Carlin,
Dalton Brown, Allison Carrier, Chase Wojcik, John McManus, Joe Buchanan, Joanna Nugent, Anthony Renaro, and Angela Pace. And all of our patrons, you guys are terrific. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Unbelievable.
For everything that you do for us. Honestly, we would wither away and blow away like a dandelion in the end of summer without you, everybody.
Would be depressing.
It would be very depressing. So thank you for everything you do for us, and hopefully you keep enjoying all that stuff and the bonus episodes and everything like that. What if people wanted to enjoy you somewhere else other than this show? How could they enjoy you?
An overwhelming amount have found me, and I appreciate it at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for being involved in this. The past couple weeks have been insane on social media. The amount amount of people that communicate with us is
absolutely
really,
it's pretty cool.
It's fascinating.
That's another way to put it.
Where could they be fascinated by you?
Well, they can find me, and they have found me at Jimmie P is Funny, or you can just Google us. I mean, Google the show. It'll tell you who we are.
Yeah.
We're the only ones doing it, so it's not like you'd have to scroll too far. So check that out. Keep coming back every single week, because obviously we would be very lonely without you.
Yes.
So that said, until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.